Hello and welcome to today's A-Level Results live stream. I am Tom from the communications team and thank you for joining me today. It's a pleasure to be here and congratulations to all those who've received their A-Level results today and especially those who found out that they're coming to Keele. We're so excited to welcome you onto campus in September and see lots of new faces in the Keele community. So we thought we'd jump live on Facebook and YouTube today just to show you and give you a bit of a flavour of what to expect and what to get excited for ahead of arriving in September. And I'm also joined by Mustafa and Beth, two of our current students and student ambassadors who are also going to be with me for the entirety of the live stream today and are going to be guiding you around a few different tours as well. So let's get you to introduce yourself. Mustafa, do you want to tell us who you are and what you study at Keele?
Hi, my name is Mustafa. I just finished my third year of medicine.
Fantastic. And Beth, same thing?
So hi, I'm Beth. I'm going into my fourth year, so I'm doing an integrated master's in forensic science with analytical investigation.
Awesome. And as I say, both of those are going to be with you for the whole stream. And we're going to be off around campus showing you as many spaces as possible. And we'll also be joined by a couple of other members of staff as well who are going to talk about their areas of expertise. But I think first things first, let's take a look at what we've got coming up on stream for you today. So we're going to start in just a moment and we're going to bring in two of our first guests. But after that, we're then going to start with our tours of our accommodation blocks. And we're going to show you all four of our accommodation blocks today. So we're going to show you Barnes, Horwood, Lindsay, Holycross and the Oaks as well. And we'll be joined by Joe from the accommodation team who can answer any questions you might have around accommodation, be it pricing or anything like that. And both of you have actually lived in on-campus accommodation, haven't you? So you're both experts in that. So you'll both be giving us a student's view on what accommodation is like at Keele as well. Then after that, we're going to head to the next section of our stream, which will be these things. So after we've done our accommodation tours, we're then going to be joined by Tom from the Students' Union, who's one of our officers in the Students' Union, and also Helen from our Student Services team. And we're going to talk about welcome, social life, and how to make the most of those first few weeks at Keele. So the first few weeks at Keele, they'll be here to tell you all about the activities that are taking place and just how you can get involved and settle in as quickly as possible. And then from there, we're going to head and have a tour of our beautiful campus and take a look around. So we'll be starting by taking Mustafa and Beth out, and they're going to be heading out on our e-scooters. And thank you to Zwings for this. So Zwings have provided us with two e-scooters, which will be getting Mustafa and Beth around campus today. I've actually disappeared. We'll sort that out in just a moment. But e-scooters will be getting Mustafa and Beth around campus today. And they'll be whizzing around. They're actually, Mustafa, you actually use the e-scooters, don't you, quite regularly? Yeah,
they're great. I really like them a lot. Studying medicine, you need to be on two campuses, basically, the hospital and the medical school. And so the Zwing scooters are very, very convenient. They're super cheap. And you can just hop on them using your phone, an app on your phone, and just drive around all of Newcastle, really. They're also, super, super quick as well.
Awesome. We'll get me back in just a moment. I'll sort that out in just a second. But back to the schedule then. So they're going to be heading around campus and taking a look at all of the different things. So we'll hopefully go inside a couple of buildings as well, which we don't normally do. And then from there, we'll be back. You'll be coming back just to do a quick Q&A. Anything we didn't get to during the stream, we'll do a quick Q&A with you both. So if you're watching, today is your opportunity to kind of ask us any questions that you've got, anything big or small. There are no silly questions. Any question you've got, please do ask us. Whilst I fix that camera, Beth, you're free to head off and go over to Barnes. And then Robbie and John, our first guests, do you want to come on over and take a seat for us? And we'll introduce you. So your microphones are just on the chair for you. Hopefully I should be back on screen in just a second. I'm back. Fantastic. It worked. Awesome. So I'm joined by John and Robbie from our Global Student Recruitment and Admissions team. Do you both want to introduce yourself? Robbie, do you want to introduce who you are and what your role is at Keele?
Yeah, hi, I'm Robbie. I'm the Director of Global Student Recruitment and Admissions. And my role, it's a big role, but today my role is all about supporting students, making sure that students are getting their results today, are getting the best support they can from Keele University.
Awesome. And John, same thing to you?
I'm John. So I'm part of the recruitment team at Keele, help to organise events and things, something I'll be able to talk a bit about today, but also here to talk a bit about things in general and admissions and clearing related things as well today too.
Smashing. So first of all, clearing then. So just to say that if you didn't get the results that you were expecting today, and or you're just looking for a place at uni and you still want to join us in September, that is still possible, isn't it, to join through clearing, isn't it?
For sure. So clearing is an opportunity for students to apply to university once they've got their results, and for them to choose potentially a new option if they're changing what they were thinking about doing, potentially to apply for the first time. And lots of universities are going to have places in clearing today. They'll do a good job of advertising them, so they'll be all over university websites. And if people want to change what they want to do, start from scratch, come in new, this is their opportunity to do it.
Awesome. And so how are we kind of handling that at Keele then? It's obviously been such a strange year, hasn't it, for A-level students? They've had such disrupted studies. How does that kind of take into account during clearing? Are there anything that's different this year to do with clearing?
Yeah, of course. Well, in some ways very different, in some ways very much the same. You know, the key difference this year is that after the conditions associated with the pandemic, students are obviously getting their grades in a very different way. But from our perspective, from Keele's perspective, those grades are the grades. We're receiving those in the normal way. So actually the process is the same and how we're responding is the same. We have places available in clearing. Students can get in touch. They can tell us the grades they've received. We'll be able to talk them through their options in terms of the places that are available. So the actual process, what actually happens on the day, is essentially the same as it would be in a normal year, with just that key difference that students have got their grades in a slightly different way. But from our perspective, we're working through clearing in the same way that we normally would.
Awesome.
And sorry, Tom, I just got to say, in terms of the key details in terms of contacting us, the best place to start is probably going to be going onto the website, look at the vacancies we've got, look at the entry requirements. You can give us a call, 01782 491 120.
Well remembered, John. Well remembered.
That's a clearing hotline number. There may still potentially be a bit of a wait on the line. As the week goes on, the calls will be answered more quickly, but we have got a lot of staff, obviously, as many staff as possible answering those calls. You can also email us, clearing@keele.ac.uk as well. So depending on the query, whether you just want to send it in via email, whether you want to speak to someone, a few different ways to contact us there. But I'd advise starting on the website and looking at the vacancies and things, because not all courses will have vacancies, obviously. So we're checking that before getting in touch with us as well.
And I'm guessing the sooner the better, really, isn't it, in terms of getting in touch to kind of check vacancies and things like that. If you want to chat to the team, is that right? Just get in touch as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I said, the lines can be quite busy the first day in particular. There's certainly nothing to panic about, don't worry, but, pick up the phone and sort of, just expect to wait a bit maybe, but, we'll obviously get to the call as quickly as possible, and sort of thing where it can be good to get it in hand quickly, take a bit of time to think about it as well over time there. So, yeah, by all means, don't panic, don't rush, but contact us as soon as you feel ready to, and just make sure that you don't feel you're rushing into the decision and you're taking time to think over it correctly, yeah.
So clearing is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's not just about those who maybe didn't get the results they were expecting. It's actually a chance to change your mind, isn't it, as well? If you decide you actually want to do a different course, you can sort of swap courses, can't you, and try and get onto a new course. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think the key thing for clearing is to, as John says, get in touch with universities. And when you do, we can kind of talk through those options. So whatever reason a student is making an application through clearing, or maybe just making an inquiry through clearing, just keen to find out more, we can provide that advice and support, because obviously we have students coming to us in all sorts of different circumstances, and we've got experience in giving that support. So I think if people aren't sure, if they're not sure whether clearing applies to them, the best thing you can do is get in touch, and we can give you sort of information that's for kind of relevant to your application and your circumstances.
So how does the process work then? So obviously you get in touch, and let's say I'm interested in a course at Keele. How does that process of me getting on that course and then starting in September, because it all seems very quick, doesn't it? But it's actually quite a well-planned process, isn't it, of how that works?
Yeah, so I think first of all, just ensure that you're eligible for clearing. So clearing is unconditional offers only. So what that means is you have to have your exam results to apply for clearing, basically. So if you're interested in September 2022 or a later year of entry, that's going to be through a different cycle. So this is specifically if you're looking to come this September to university and you've got your results already. To kind of start the process off, like we say, contact us. And then you'll, it depends on your circumstances really. So you may kind of be holding an offer elsewhere and you're interested in releasing from that offer and coming to Keele, for example, under those circumstances, I'd say absolutely fine, but speak to us first before you release, just to make sure that we have got a place on that course, and then we can do that. The process itself is all sort of run through UCAS track, the same as the kind of standard application cycle, but just under a shorter time frame and a few differences there, really. So if you speak to us, we can kind of guide you through some of the finer details of it, but it's all relatively straightforward. We'll then be in touch pretty quickly, really. Obviously, approaching September when students will start, so you'll be hearing from about Welcome Week and about enrolment from the Student Services team, and they can say a bit more about that later. You'll obviously have to sort your student finance out potentially if you've not already done so. Accommodation, again, who obviously we'll be hearing from later. But you'll also hear from your academic school soon as well, so they'll get in touch with information about maybe things to prepare, any equipment you might need for some courses ready for September as well. So it can all seem a bit quick and like you've got to make a decision quickly, but that best thing to do initially is to speak to us, and very friendly people at the end of the calls. So, we can kind of talk you all through that, so don't be daunted by it. Do just sort of pick up the phone or email in and we can guide you through the process.
Amazing. And if someone is kind of thinking of switching to Keele and they've not kind of, they don't know a great deal about the campus yet, what opportunities have they got, John, to kind of find more information about Keele, even visit campus potentially?
Yeah, that's it. So we're running tours all this week, so up until and including Sunday. We've still got places available on them. Obviously, we have still got kind of capacity limits with where we are with restrictions and things. Obviously things are opening up a bit more, but we're still keen to be cautious and put safety first there. So if it is something you're interested in, do try to book on quickly so you're not disappointed there. The way to find them, simply you can go on the Keele website, and we've got a whole page relating to opportunities to visit Keele, and they're kind of front and centre on there. Go via Google or any other search engine, visit Keele Campus Tours, and they'll pop up. You're looking for Discover Keele Campus Tours, opportunities to visit accommodation as well, a few different halls of residence there. The tours are delivered by our current students, so you're kind of getting their perspective on the campus as well, and that they can kind of answer any questions you have. They tend to be pretty small group tours, so you get an opportunity there to ask the questions that are on your mind and get a more personalised experience. So plenty of opportunities to visit, and again, we'll be sort of signposting to them in the emails that you get from us. So if you apply and clearing, you'll get follow-up emails confirming your offer and stuff, but also things directing you to those tours as well to give you a chance. So I've said it before, but don't rush into the decision, basically. So if you've not visited Keele yet, and this year more than ever, there have been less opportunities to visit, of course. So just take that opportunity, take your time. We've got the tours over the weekend if you're struggling to make them during a weekday, and just before you decide if it's the right uni for you, come and have a look.
Fab, and I think top tip from me, definitely be prepared for the day. It's a beautiful sunny day here. We've just been outside. I just saw a tour going past. Everyone's having a great time, but there is always a possibility of a spot of rain, just a touch. So, do bring your brolly just in case, because these are outdoor tours, a chance to see our beautiful expansive green but very much outdoor campus, so definitely be prepared for that situation.
Awesome. And Mustafa, I think clearing, you didn't actually join through clearing, did you? But you're kind of an interesting one of that. If you didn't get the results you're expecting, or you didn't go on the path you're expecting, it's not the end of the world, is it? Because you've already done an undergraduate to then get onto your medicine course, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely. A-level results day for me 7 years ago. It's not the best time of my life. So A-level results day is very, very daunting. Lots of things are happening. Everything's going crazy. People are looking through newspapers. Back in my day, people had to look at newspapers for clearing ads.
Showing your age, Mustafa.
Oh, I'm sorry. So lots of things are happening. But what's important is you and what's going through your mind. If you actually want to do the course that is being advertised at all the universities across the country, because you're going to spend 3 years on this course, and you're going to spend a lot of money on it as well from student finance. So you're important. And then secondly, what you should think about is the university that you want to go to as well, not just the course. So lots of things are going on. And I did a degree at St George's University of London for 3 years there, and that was really my stepping stone for where I want to be now. So there's opportunities available, and if you didn't get the grades that you wanted to today, that's okay, because you can get onto a clearing course, still do a degree, and then move on to maybe some graduate opportunities afterwards as well. So there's lots of opportunity as well. It's not the end of the world, even though it might seem like it if you didn't make your grades.
Yeah, so today's full of beginnings, isn't it, basically? I think we'll finish off then. So in terms of, I know, Robbie, you gave us a top tip for attending a campus tour, but what is your top tip for if you're applying through clearing? What is your number one must-do?
Well, I just think, today's really interesting because if you turn on the news or you read anything about results day, it's all the big stats, how many people got A's and A stars, blah, blah, blah. But of course, it's an intensely personal experience, as you've just said. It's happening everywhere, but it's happening to you, and you've got a very personal journey that you're going on. And I think really it's just to stay calm, stay measured, to take a look at what the options are available, to get advice and support from family, friends, your school, college, and anyone who's willing to give you that support and help. And just make sure that you're making a decision that you're comfortable is right for you, and whether that's coming on a campus tour or looking through a website or getting some advice on a phone line. Just making sure that you've got confidence that the choice you're making is something you're going to be happy, going to be comfortable with, and using those support networks that are available.
Awesome. John, anything to add?
I'm going to slightly repeat myself, but don't rush, basically. For some people, unfortunately, it will feel like the world's fallen out from under them today. We know many students at Keele who we speak to all the time who came through clearing, and they felt the same at the time, and then things have actually worked out really well for them. But it's only worked out well for them because they took the time to kind of make sure it was the right decision. You may be looking at universities who you potentially have never even heard of, never even visited, you've done no research. So yes, sort of move quickly to get things in motion, but then just take those few days to kind of sleep on things even, just to think decisions through and do a bit of research, visit if you can. It will all work out okay so long as you kind of just don't rush into that decision and make sure that what you're doing is right for you.
And use all those people around you, isn't it, as well? Use family and friends, keep everyone kind of in the loop and bounce what you're thinking off them as well. It's important to kind of include as many people as possible, isn't it?
And I just think one key thing on that is just when people are ringing up universities, just to make sure that you get the information that you need. When you're on the phone, you can feel under a lot of pressure to get off the phone, can't
we
you?
all hate being on the phone.
Yeah.
So uncool.
You phone someone up, you don't know what's going to happen. But if you're not sure, if there's a question you want to ask, if perhaps you're not so familiar, or perhaps you feel like you're not as well supported, we're there to help. That's why we're there on the phone line. So, I appreciate it can be a slightly uncomfortable environment being on the phone, but making sure you feel like you've got your questions answered, asking those questions maybe you were always a bit nervous to ask. That's a really big part of today, and just really feeling comfortable that that the decision you're making is right.
Awesome. So, John, it's keele.ac.uk/clearing, isn't it? And then that hotline again is
01782 491 120.
Well remembered, fantastic. So thank you both for talking us through. So make use of them. Is Unibuddy available today?
Yeah, that's it. That's worth mentioning, actually, Tom. So we have a number of academic staff on there at the moment. So if you have a question about a course, which can be any question about the nature of the assessments on the course, about certain modules, whatever it is that you want to ask about, we have got a number of academic staff available on Unibuddy. So if you want to get a sort of quick answer to a question that you have, then basically that's, I believe, keele.ac.uk/chat.
Yeah.
Yes. So pop on there, and central services staff as well. So by that I mean accommodation and student services and teams like that as well. So if you had a kind of more question about more general elements of the university, Unibuddy is a really good resource for getting quick answers. Yeah,
it's invaluable as well, especially in the times that we're in the whole virtual environment. It is a great resource, and it's available beyond today. It's available 24/7. So I'm guessing staff are on hand today, are they, John? So
yeah, so staff specifically sort of on this week for clearance, so expecting questions to come in, and we'll definitely get you as quick.
Are they really 24/7, John? Are they?
Not 20.
I'm not claiming. Tom playing 24/7.
You can drop a question at any time of the day. If you want to drop a question at 3 a.m, that's fine. You might not got a response at 3 a.m, but it is a 24/7 service. But staff are on hand intensely this week, aren't they? From 9 until 5, I'm guessing, office hours.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you can still still ask a question, and you should get a response pretty swiftly. Awesome. Well, thank you both. You're free to go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move over to our first accommodation tour. So pop your marks on the chair, and you're free to exit our makeshift studio today. And let's just check in on Beth, who's hopefully outside our Barnes accommodation block. She is. Awesome. And we're also joined by Joe. So Joe, hello, Joe.
Yeah.
Can we? I think we can hear you. I think we can hear you. Sure, that's fine. So Joe is from our accommodation team. Joe, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what your role is at Keele?
Yeah, so my name's Jo, obviously. I work in the accommodation office, so I allocate the bedrooms with the team as well.
Awesome. And we're actually going to take a look around Barnes first. Now, Mustafa, you actually lived in Barnes, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. So I think 2018 I lived in Barnes. It's a great place. Keele is massive. I think today we're going to show you just how absolutely huge the campus is. And so Barnes is one of 4 accommodation blocks on campus, and it has hundreds of rooms. There's a lot of variety in those rooms as well. So you can get en suites or just standard classic rooms as well, or shared accommodation between 4 people as well. So lots of variety and lots of green space around you, lots of space to free roam. I think what you can see there is just a Google Maps view of what campus is like and what Barnes is as well.
So we're currently over Union Square, and Barnes, as Mustafa was saying, is this area here that's highlighted with a little blue edge. Joe, how many rooms are there actually in Barnes?
Now you're asking, aren't you? I can't tell you off the top
It's
of
a
my head.
lot. It's the biggest on site, isn't it?
It is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. So there is a variety of room types, isn't there? As
Absolutely.
You said. So where did you live, Mustafa?
So I live in the most southerly part of Barnes.
Let's try and see in
Right there, yes. So I
these
think
ones here.
when we show Beth's right outside there. So you'll get
let's jump to Beth then.
You'll get a good view of So
here's Beth.
Barnes A to F. So I lived in Barnes B. It was a great time. I really enjoyed it. I lived in the cheapest accommodation I could find on campus because I wanted to save as much money being a graduate. But I actually really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much because I got to meet so many people so quickly and make lots of friends. And the friends that I met in Barnes B, I still live with to this day. And I'm about to go into my 4th year at Keele as well.
Amazing.
So great friendships were made there.
Now, accommodation blocks aren't just your room, are they? They've got a lot more than that. Beth's going to do a quick walk around for us now because they've got they kind of vary, don't they, in their facilities? But just to say, if you live in Holycross and the Oaks, you can still use the Barnes facilities.
Yeah, absolutely. One great tip is that Lindsay shop, which we'll show you later in the day, closes half an hour later than any other shop on campus. So if you want to get your Ben & Jerry's at like 11 p.m, you can run across campus to Lindsay shop and access their facilities as well, access their bar as well.
Awesome. So, yeah, Beth, do you want to have a walk around, and Mustafa's going to talk us through what we're seeing? Yeah,
so right in front of you, the building that you just saw there was the Islamic Center. So there is an Islamic Center on campus. There's also lots of other multi-faith areas as well on campus. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely go to the website and check out the Islamic Center and the other multi-faith areas as well. And Beth's just showing you the sports field. So Barnes is actually very well located. It's right next to the sports center, the gym, and the fields there. So if you're in Barnes A to F, you'll get a great view of the field right there, and everything that goes on there. So I used to wake up in the morning and used to see the lacrosse team playing out there on the field. Sometimes the cricket team, and sometimes American football. So there's a lot of variety of what goes on in that sports field. And what Beth's doing now is just walking up the side of Barnes. So on the left-hand side is the massive field, and on the right-hand side is Barnes itself. And what I didn't know when I came to Keele is that Barnes is just the name of the where the accommodation is located, really. It doesn't classify what accommodation you'll find, what accommodation type you'll find there. So again, lots of different types of room that you'll find in Barnes, just like you'll find lots of different types of room in Lindsay and Holycross and the Oaks as well.
Awesome. Sorry, I was doing something else.
No,
I didn't actually.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
So, how did you find social atmosphere then in the halls? And by the way, if you are watching, and you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments, and I can ask them to either Joe or Mustafa as we go. I'll just read through a couple. So, Shannon's asked, "Hello, will there be a tour of the nursing facilities?" So nursing students spend most of the time at the hospital, don't they, at the CEC?
Yeah, exactly. So they'll come in, and it's a very vocational course, nursing. So they'll spend the vast majority of the time at the Clinical Education Centre, which is at the hospital campus. It's the site that I use a lot now as well. Unfortunately, we won't be showing you that because it's quite a specialist facility. But we can show you some of the accommodation that the nurses use on campus. Because I think, Joe, nurses are on a longer course, so they're specially allocated.
Yeah, they have. They spend longer at Keele through the year, so they go into different accommodation. They have fewer options, unfortunately, but yeah, they do tend to live together.
Yeah, so if you're a nurse, you'll meet all the other nurses on your course, and you'll also have access to the vast majority of other students around, studying lots of other courses as well. So don't feel like you're isolated if you're applying as a nurse to campus.
So if you do want to check out the CEC, there'll be some resources online. So if you go to the nursing pages, you should be able to see some photos of the Clinical Education Centre. And Joe, did you say where nurses will be staying this year in September?
The nursing accommodation, sorry, I'm just going to have to remind myself. So there's going to be some in Barnes in the ensuite superior accommodation, some in the shared flats in Horwood, and the Classic Plus in Horwood.
Yeah, so there's a variety of accommodation that you can apply to as well, as you just heard from Joe. What we're seeing right now on the screen is some of the shared facilities you'll find. So in the centre of the Barnes area, you'll find the laundrette, and you'll also find the common room as well. So the common room is just a set of rooms, really, with some stuff inside, some TVs, some games, some couches that anybody from Barnes, or really anybody from Barnes really, can go into and use. So if you want to have like a party or an event, like a birthday, everybody can just go there and they can have one communal space, which is quite nice to have a good time there. There's also the bar as well. So if you're interested in just having a quick drink, be it alcoholic or non-alcoholic, in the middle of Barnes, you'll find the bar there. They run events as well, so I think they run a quiz every single week, and lots of societies take over the space as well. So you'll be able to meet people.
So I think Beth's on her way to the bar, I think, just around the corner, is it, from the laundry? So it's interesting because you've obviously got the Students' Union, which we'll talk about later on, who've got the big bar on campus. Do people use the smaller bars? Are they quite popular?
Yeah, so the smaller bars, they're used by a lot of specialist societies. So lots of societies take over the space and have great times there, really. So Keele Rock Appreciation Society, they use it a lot. Before COVID times, obviously, they used to take over the entire bar and play lots and lots of music. And it used to be a really popular event. You used to be able to meet lots of people there. But on top of that, there are so many different layers to how you can meet people at Keele. Not just societies, not just the bar, but there's also, as you mentioned, Keele SU as well. Sports societies, clubs, on campus and off campus. There's just so many different things, so many different opportunities available. Keele is a massive university, but I've never felt like I've just been a small wheel in the massive cog of Keele. I felt like a person here, and I really appreciate that, the opportunity to feel like that.
So we've seen the bar. I think Beth also showed us the laundry facility.
Yeah, she was outside. Yeah. So if you have any questions about laundry, there is a web page dedicated to how laundry works at Keele. It might be something that's just on your mind. But if you Google Keele Laundry, you'll find out that the laundry systems at Keele are run by an external company called Circuit. And you can get a card from one of the facilities on campus, and you can top up the card online and then use it when you go in and wash. I'm not exactly sure how much it is for a wash and a dry anymore. It's been a couple of years since I've been on campus, but you can go online. You'll be able to find that out. Beth is also showing us the bicycle store. And am I right, Joe, in saying there's lots of bicycle storage on campus?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that is a bicycle store where anyone can use it. There are secure ones that are available on the campus as well. In the halls of residence for those students staying. They are a £15 deposit for a key.
Yeah, they're usually integrated. I think the secure ones are usually integrated into the halls of residence. So people who bring bikes on the campus, they do feel quite safe having them if that's something you're interested in. Though I would say, if you're going to bring a bike onto campus, you should be prepared, because if you're going on and off campus, there's an absolutely massive hill you have to traverse. Absolutely ginormous. So the Zwing scooter you see behind me, even that's a beast, and even that starts to struggle sometimes.
But it gets up them, though.
It does get up. It
Yeah.
absolutely does. If it wasn't able to get up, I'd have to rely on these old legs, which would be a different story. But yeah, Zwing scooters, cycling up, driving up, lots of different ways into Keele.
Yeah. Cycling down.
Oh yeah,
What a
cycling down
breeze.
is easy.
What a breeze.
But every time I see somebody cycle up the hill, they're always like standing. Nobody's on the seat.
Do you know what, with that hill, I find that the first bit's the hardest, and then it levels out.
It does. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So you've got about
about
50
meters.
yards of kind of quite
Yeah.
steep,
It's very steep.
and then it kind of just a
Yeah.
gradual gradient.
If you have a small car as well, like we're talking like a liter car, like 1.0, it will struggle. Especially if you're bringing all your stuff.
We're not that remote.
No, but the campus is absolutely amazing. Lots and lots of green space for miles and miles around. So you'll have a great opportunity to explore the local area and explore all of the different greenery and forests and lakes that are on campus as well.
And we'll talk about the local area just in our campus tour later on. So where's Beth now? So Beth, are you headed anywhere near the new Barnes accommodation blocks? That's what we're going. Oh, it's just in front of you. There we go. So we've got Barnes. I always get these wrong. It's Y and Z, isn't it? That are in front of us.
I'm sure Joe will correct you.
Yes, yeah. So we've got the one we're looking at now is Y, and then just behind that is Z. These are about 2 years old, I want to say. Is that right, Joe? Just to the end of 2018, was it? Or
It's about that. You forget with that year that we've just missed.
Yeah.
so they're still very, very shiny, very new, and these lovely. And we'll go into these first. So these are all en suite. So Beth's just outside there now. Just giving us a nice pan of the outside of that. Some nice new seating areas as well. And you've also got inside Barnes Y. You've also got the accommodation office, haven't you, Joe? And another laundry in there as well. Oh no! Oh, is it moved?
No, we've moved.
You've moved. Where have you gone to?
We've moved. Yeah, we're in Tawny building now.
One
God, it's
Keele.
all changed.
Oh, it's 1 Keele, right?
So if you want to visit the
Yeah.
accommodation office, it's now in Tawny, Joe.
Well, we'll pass Tawny.
That's it.
We'll show you guys on the campus tour.
So Joe, what is there any plans for that entrance section of Barnes then, or is it just a new seating area, is it, or something? Or do you not know?
And no plans as far as I'm aware. No.
Wow. Well, it used to be there. Now they're in Tawny, which is great because you're more centrally located as well, aren't you? You're not at the top end of
Yeah.
campus. That sounds great. Good idea, whoever did that. That's
Yeah.
a good change. But there is also the laundry's still there, isn't it, Joe? I'm not wrong on that one.
It is. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. So what we'll do is, Beth, thank you very much for showing us around the outside. We're going to head inside, so you can head back to the studio in your own time, and we'll take a look inside Barnes Y. So let's do that now. Now you didn't stay in these, did you?
No, I didn't, but I have friends who stayed in here,
nice.
so I have a good idea. So every single door, the door we just passed there is the flat door, and the flat door is closed off to everybody else who's not inside the flat. So nobody will be able to access your flat unless they actually live in that corridor, or unless somebody lets them in. So it's quite secure on that front. And as we can see, it's quite new, quite bougie. Everything's very, very nice. Walls perfectly painted. And all of the doors that we just saw as we were walking down the corridor are accommodation rooms. So they're the rooms that you'd be getting if you actually moved in. At the end of the corridor, the opposite side to the one we're looking at now, was the kitchen, and we'll have a look at that later.
Yeah, we'll go through that in a bit. But we'll head to the room first. Someone's actually asked Mustafa, what was your best memory in Barnes?
Oh man, there are so many. What was my best memory? I'll come back to that.
Okay.
I'll come back. I've got to think about it, to be honest, because there are so many. So moving into the room, I don't want to miss anything on the tour. So what you can see is that you can see the room in itself, and what you get is the wardrobe, the desk, some storage area, and the bed. Joe, I can't remember off the top of my head what size bed it is.
That one's a double, but some of the ensuite superior are 3/4. So in W and X, they're 3/4.
What I'd give to have that bed, though. The beds are quite big. So if you're paying more, you'll naturally get a bigger bed and a more comfortable living environment like that.
Just to say, Faye, yes, this is Barnes. We're having a look around now. Yep, that's it. Sorry,
Yeah,
just
no, it's
wanted
okay. There is some underbed storage, so you can put some stuff under there, and lots of storage around the room, as we've seen. These rooms were only built about 2 years ago, so not many people have used them. Everything's pretty new still, and you'll definitely get a great experience by moving into one of these.
You got your favorite memory yet?
Oh man, favorite memory. There's so many. I think we went to the forest at like 1 a.m. and it was everybody from the accommodation block. So I lived in the old accommodation.
Right, okay.
So 28 people. It was about 28 people, and we just all dived into the forest, and we just had a great time walking around in the night. And then when we all came back, we just had a real nice sociable time in our kitchen. And our kitchen at the time was quite small, but 28 people in one room, all socializing, having a great time, meeting new people. That was a really good memory.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really warmed my heart at the time.
Warms your cockles.
Yeah.
So someone's asked, what date do students start? So Diane's asked what date students start. Now the semester date, so semester 1 for 2021 entry starts on Monday the 27th of September. Now Joe, in terms of when students move in, is it the Saturday and Sunday before that?
Yeah, so the 25th, 26th.
Is when you'll be moving in. If you're an international student, it's slightly different, isn't it, Joe? They move in, is it 1 or 2 weeks before?
Well, they normally arrive on the 22nd, but obviously we'll have to take into account quarantine rules this time, so it's varied.
So keep an eye out on your emails for that. But semester, in terms of teaching, starts on Monday the 27th of September, and semester 1 runs through till Friday the 21st of January 2022. That's semester 1.
Just bear in mind that first week will be Freshers Week, so everybody will be moving in. Everybody's in the same boat. You'll be able to meet lots of people during that as well. What we just saw out the window of the room was David Weatherall. So if you're a medical student, or if you're a business student, or if you're a new incoming vet student, applying to Barnes, especially new Barnes, will put you in prime location to wake up as late as possible for your lectures, and have the shortest walking distance possible to your lectures as well. What we're looking at now is also the en-suite. So Barnes Y and Z, they have en-suites. And then new en-suites like this, so you'll get your own private toilet, your own private shower, and your own private sink as well. They are very new, but it's up to you
I
to
think
keep
also,
them.
Joe, am I right, is X also en-suite?
W and X, yeah.
W and X,
W and
yeah.
X.
So there's Barnes has the most variety, doesn't it?
It does,
room types. But you didn't stay in en-suite, did you?
I didn't stay in an en-suite. No, I went to shared sort of.
Shared flats and houses.
Yeah, shared flats and houses. Shared situation, and it was okay. I appreciate A-level results day. Lots is going on at the moment. The last thing you want to be thinking about is sharing a kitchen and sharing the toilet situation. But really, it wasn't that bad at all. It was really fine. There were no queues for the toilets. There were really no queues for the kitchen because everybody cooks at different times. Everybody goes to the toilet at different times. So it may be a stress for you, but I feel like the more you acclimatize to it, the more it will be fine. The easier it will get as time goes on.
So we will take a look around one of these shared flats and houses in just a moment. Joe, do you want to give us the pricing for the one we're seeing? So this is, give us the name of the official name of the room.
Yeah, so this is the Barnes Ensuite Superior Accommodation, and it is £6,438.74p.
So it does sound like quite a lot, but but it's up to you where you apply for accommodation. So if that's out of your price range, then there's lots of other options available. And if it's in your price range, then it's definitely something that you can get. And you can apply to. Joe is the person who will allocate you to your room, so be nice to Joe. She's the one who controls.
Joe personally does every single room.
She knows all of the students' names who are applying.
Jump in, Beth. So Beth's back with us. How was Barnes?
It was good. It's nice and warm today.
It's nice and warm.
Yeah, it's nice and warm.
Wow.
I did bring my coat in case it rained.
Yeah, fingers crossed it won't. It's looking okay.
Looking good. The kitchen's also very nice, actually. As we're on here, so the hob, there's an 8-burner hob, so lots of room to cook your foods, and there's also lots of room in the fridge as well. So everybody gets one shelf in the fridge. That's one fridge shelf and one freezer shelf, as far as I know.
So Joe, we've had a question. Someone's asked, I will arrive on the 11th of September, and they're coming from Sweden. Is it possible for them to move in then?
The best thing for them to do is just to email us so that we can check where they're living and what the situation is. I don't know off the top of my head what list Sweden's on.
So if you head to, I think it's keele.ac.uk/accommodation, is it, Joe?
Yeah. The email address is accommodation@keele.ac.uk. So just drop us an email and we'll get back to you.
Smashing. Brilliant.
There is also a communal whiteboard. I don't think we've shown it yet, but in the kitchen there's a communal whiteboard. So if you want to write any messages or write any, like people used to have tables where they counted different things or whatever, how many times people left things left on the side unwashed or whatever. If you have any passive aggressive messages like that, you can use the board or you can draw things as well.
Draw some art on it. Yeah.
Yeah, my accommodation, we had a whiteboard as well. It was tiny, but the whole year there was art on it and it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some real nice artists.
Get creative. How was share? Because obviously you share the kitchen in all of our accommodation blocks. I'm pretty. That is right, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. How is that? Cupboard space, fridge space?
Yeah, it really depends on what accommodation you apply to. Every accommodation is different. But in terms of barns and the places I've experienced, it's been fine, to be honest. You may have the odd can of soup or whatever that you need to place somewhere else outside of your special area, but that's okay. Usually, everything can get discussed and resolved between people, and the accommodation team very, very rarely steps into any issues that have got bigger than that, in my experience.
Yeah, I was the same. I was in Horwood, and I'm pretty sure we only had a half a shelf each in the fridge and then half in the freezer as well. So one tip that I did in my first year is I brought like a big Tupperware that was about the size of half a fridge shelf, and then you can put everything of yours in there, and then it doesn't get messy. People don't use it because it's in your box itself. So I would definitely recommend doing that. You can just go to like Asda or any supermarket or Dunelm or something and just grab one. They're quite cheap. So yeah, definitely do that. It's a good tip.
It's big brain.
And you can also store stuff in your rooms as well, can't you?
Yeah.
I did that. I had big, those big white boxes. I had those, and I had about 4 of them under my bed of just like food cans, like just stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I used to have like secret snacks, emergency snacks.
Snacks,
I run out of food.
Definitely
I have
bring loads
nothing
of
else to eat.
snacks.
Yeah, snacks are very
So you
important.
can wake up at 3 a.m. and just grab an emergency snack.
I'm sure you can bribe Joe with snacks as well.
Joe's bribable with, easily a snack. I reckon if I give Joe a pack of Haribo, I could get
The
any
best
room on
accommodation.
accommodation. Yeah,
for sure.
That's not true. We can't.
That's not true, no.
But the kitchen, so yeah, these Barnes kitchens are lovely in the new ones.
very nice, yeah.
Because you don't always get, well, in most you do get a dining table, don't you? But you don't always get that size dining table and also that size living space, do you? In terms of there's a nice seating area, isn't there, with the screen in Barnes?
Absolutely. Half the time, the kitchen area in new barns acts as a social space as well, acts as a common room just for your flat. So lots of people can have to go down there. And I think there's sometimes a TV in them as well, so you can hook up a
There's
laptop.
screen. It's a screen, isn't it? So it's not a TV, so you could bring an Apple TV box or a Fire Stick and plug that in, or a games console or something like that. So it's just a screen to do whatever you want. That's Barnes Y and Z. You get great views from there as well, as you say, over the medical school. Someone did ask, what is the nearest? Brittany asked, which accommodation is closest to the computer science building? Now that will be...
Probably Lindsay or Barnes.
Yeah, so...
It's like between the two, isn't it?
Barnes A to F, where we showed at the very, very beginning, that Beth showed. Oh, yeah. Lindsay.
Yeah, or Lindsay.
I mean, we're talking seconds, minutes
it's not
at
far.
most, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even I was in Horwood, and that's probably like the furthest away that would have been. I used to walk up to CSL, and it was only about a 5-10 minute walk.
Keele's quite unique to other universities. If you go to a city university, there might be campus buildings that are quite far away from each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're in Manchester, you might be kind of travelling across the city to get to different buildings, or you might be, your course might be in this building, there's an accommodation block near that. And with Keele, because we're one campus and everything's very centrally located, whichever accommodation you choose, you're a max 15 minutes away from
probably not even that.
Yeah, away from your building. The furthest away, which we'll go to later on, is Hollycross and the Oaks. And if you were to walk from Hollycross to the Oaks to the centre of campus, it's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you're really slow.
But on a Zwing scooter, down
5 minutes.
super quick.
So kind of the advice we always say is pick the accommodation that best suits your budget and needs, isn't it? Don't worry about your course unless you're a nursing student or something specific like that, where there are specific accommodation blocks for you. Feel free to kind of shop around with accommodation, isn't it?
I think my biggest tip is that the money you save on the accommodation that you live in, you can spend on yourself. It's free for you to spend however you want.
Awesome. So let's go into, not the exact room that you stayed in, Mustafa, is it? But a similar one. We'll go into the shared flats and houses, which are here.
Yeah. So automatically you can see that the building's older, but not necessarily worse for wear. All of the accommodation on campus is kept up by the accommodation team as new as possible.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Thomas D's put flatmate agreement 1, don't move my cheese.
Yeah, man. If you move the cheese, that's it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Or if someone uses their cheese, I had a flatmate who used to put a line on her milk.
Oh my god.
And then
Oh,
whenever anybody else
clever.
used it, obviously she'd sue it. Well, I mean, it's fair enough. It's like it's
I
a
mean,
good idea. I didn't use it personally, but
A lot
I know other
sometimes,
people
do you
who
ever
did.
share milk? Like just buy
Yeah,
milk?
yeah,
and
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
kind of
Yeah,
just
if you
share it?
like can get in with some other flatmates that have a similar.
So you don't have
like
to be
milk
militant about your food.
No.
Do you? You can
No.
chip in and share
Yeah.
around.
I mean, it's just a bottle of milk at the end of the day,
Yeah,
right?
it's just milk.
So this is actually very, very similar to the room I stayed in, except that it's within a shared flat. So you can choose who you live with in this block. Whereas I applied to Barnes A to F, and I didn't necessarily have the opportunity to choose who I was going to live with. So what you get in here is very similar to what you got in Barnes, but just in Barnes that we just saw, but presented in a different way. So you get a smaller bed and less storage space, really.
So Herder has said, Joe, this probably one for you. Why is 44 weeks bad for Freshers Week? Wondering about accommodation. Apparently it says that on the website. Any idea?
It's not Freshers Week.
Yeah.
It's not bad for Freshers Week, but it's the 44 week was designed for final year students. It starts a week earlier so that they can get in before all the freshers arrive, and it takes them up to graduation. So it's actually longer than a normal fresher would need, really.
Yeah. But if you're curious about Freshers Week itself, all of the contracts will include Freshers Week at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you'll still be on campus to experience that 1 week.
And that is the 27th.
Yeah.
Well, it starts on the 25th when you move in. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah.
Kind of welcome starts on the 25th.
Yeah,
and goes through to the...
I think technically it starts on the Monday, but yeah, they have the welcome events on the Saturday anyway, don't they? And on the Sunday as well.
The first week of semester is welcome or Freshers
Yeah.
Week.
Yeah.
And what we may have noticed from this room is that, and from the room that we just saw, is that they look pretty bland. They look quite boring. But what you can do as a student is spice them up. So you can put photos on the walls. Lots of people like fairy lights. I've seen fairy
Yeah, I had
lights.
fairy lights.
Very
Blankets,
popular.
pillows. Definitely bring some extra pillows.
Yeah.
There is a stipulation on fairy lights, isn't there, Joe?
I was just going to say, I mean, with fairy lights, they need to be LED anyway, but be careful what you stick anything to the walls with, because it can land you with a damage charge at the end of the year if the paint comes off.
That's a good point, yeah. Good
I think
point.
I use command strips and like the command books because they come off quite easy if you take them off right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a few this year especially, we've had people who've had the strip lights.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen those
Yeah, they've been a
that
trending,
you get,
haven't they,
and I
this year?
think they obviously they've got their own adhesive and they peel off, and then they've
They're
taken
quite
them off.
permanent, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. So remember, you are only in here for
like 37 weeks.
Yeah. So don't
Yeah.
kind of renovate. Don't start knocking walls down. Or
Yeah,
putting
don't bring
anything.
paint or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
In terms of things, this is probably a good time, isn't it, Joe, to then talk about what you can have in your room. So there's things like fridges can only be in your room for medical purposes, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, so if you need a fridge for a medical reason, you have to register that with disability support, and they contact us, and we then provide the fridge in your accommodation. Other than that, they're not allowed.
And kettles, anything like that, Joe?
Yeah, no. Travel kettles, I understand, are allowed, but yeah, kettles, toasters aren't allowed in your bedroom. They need to be in the kitchen if you're bringing them. There is a kettle in the kitchen. Toasters aren't provided, but we always say it's worth waiting till you get to Keele to see if anyone else has bought one before you bring one yourself.
I guess also a good time then to go through the kitchen, isn't it, of what you get?
Yeah.
So do you want to run us through what you should bring, what you
I brought nothing. Zero.
came
Zilch.
with? What's your advice for kind of what you get you set up in your kitchen while you do that? I'm going to take
I
a
mean-
bite of my lovely wafer.
Great wafer.
So give me a long answer so I don't get
So
caught.
what you need to bring is you need to bring all your cutlery, plates and bowls, things to eat out of really, because what you don't want to have or experience is moving in day one, your parents leaving, moving back hundreds of miles away, and you're left with nothing to eat out of.
Yeah.
So I've seen students eat out of like frying pans and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, it happens. It happens, man.
Damn.
It's savage. But you don't want to be one of those people, right? So you want to remember to bring all your cutlery and crockery that you need, mugs for tea and things like
Yeah.
that. But
I also wouldn't bring loads.
oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because I brought, I think, 2 of each, but I had people in my flat who brought like 4 of
Yeah,
everything.
people bring
And
like a family's
you just
worth.
lose it. And I had a flatmate who brought 1 of everything that she needed, and that was it. And
Yeah.
we did her the whole year.
That was me. I brought 1 of everything. But what does happen is if you lose something, you're screwed over.
Yeah.
You-
that's
but,
true.
But in town there is a Wilco. So if you want to move into halls and you do bring nothing, there are shops around that you can just purchase your goods from.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've had a couple of questions. So probably one for Helen, who's joining us later. What is the deadline for tuition deposit payment? Joe, I'm sure you're not sure of that, but in terms of accommodation payments then, do you want to talk us through how accommodation, kind of you pay for your accommodation?
Yeah, so when you get your offer, you'll be asked for a £450 advance payment. So that is due before the 31st of August, unless obviously you're not getting your offer till after that date, in which case we ask you to make the payment within a week. After that, the payment for the accommodation is made in 3 instalments. It's 40%, and 20%. But the 450 that you should have already paid is 150 deposit and £300 towards your first instalment.
Awesome.
Just on that, on tuition fees, since I paid my own tuition fees because I'm a graduate.
Fantastic.
Usually what happens is your tuition fees of 9,250 is split into 2 payments. So 1 payment in November and then 1 payment coming in January. But if that's not amicable to you, what you can do is you can speak to the finance team. You can give them a call, find them on the website, and you can discuss your own personal circumstances there.
So, Mustafa, I'm going to ask you to head off to Horwood and we'll get prepped for the Horwood section.
That sounds good.
So, grab your helmet, high vis. We're very health and safety aware
Very
today
health
on
and
these
safety.
scooters.
I did have quite a few people like looking at me up and down, being like, "Why is she wearing that high vis
Listen,
jacket on
you
a
know,
scooter?"
You're just ready to go. You don't want to fall off. Mustafa always wears a high vis when he uses these scooters, all the time. But it is recommended. Do wear a helmet if you do use these scooters. And whilst Mustafa's heading there, we'll kind of talk about. So Beth, you stayed in Horwood, didn't you? Which is where we're heading to.
Yeah,
next.
I was there in my first year, which I think was 2018 to the 2019. I
Wow.
think.
And then we had the blip of
Think.
2020 that disappeared.
Yeah.
So how did you do Horwood and then
Yeah.
then where
And
did you go
then
after that?
Off campus for my 2nd and 3rd year. So I lived in a house in Silverdale, which is kind of a little bit outside of Newcastle-on-the-Lyme, which is the main town. Like you have all the shops and stuff in there, and that's easily accessible by bus and taxis and stuff like that. So I had a friend who I lived with who had a parking permit. So I just got lifted in with her because there wasn't exactly a bus route to use. You have to get the bus into town and the bus to campus. And at 9 a.m. I did
Very
not want to do
fortunate
that.
then. Fortunate to have a friend
Yeah.
with a car.
Yeah, and my boyfriend as well is a student nurse, so he automatically gets, I think, a parking permit. Or
Yeah,
because he's a
actually,
commuter student as well. he
Good
gets a
time to talk about
permit.
parking. So we don't advise bringing a car to campus because it is kind
You
of.
won't need it.
You won't
to be
need
honest.
it especially if you're living in halls. You will not need a car because you'll be doing. They call it the Keele bubble for a reason because everything you need is kind of here on campus, especially with some of the new stuff as well. We've got a co-op opening soon, so you'll have a supermarket on campus where you could do some most of your weekly shopping there. You've got news agents, post
Got
office,
Costa.
You've got your bars and restaurants. You've got the Students' Union, which is the nightclub. So you've got. You wouldn't have to actually leave campus, would you?
No.
We advise
not
getting
if-
out there and
yeah.
exploring the local area, but if you wanted to, you could probably just spend the whole year on campus. But if you do need a car for any reason, you can apply to our parking team, and you just have to kind of go through. And there's an eligibility form, isn't it, that you fill in. So if you're a nurse, I'm guessing that's a priority then, is it?
Yeah, I think it's like one of the priorities.
Yeah.
Is that
If you have a disability or you need a car for any of those reasons, bye Mustafa. Enjoy. We'll see you there. If you need a car for any of those reasons, then yes, do apply for a parking permit. And even if you're living in a local area, you don't really need one, do you? There are bus networks,
the bus
the
route's quite
scooters,
good.
bike,
Scooters, bikes. Apart from the hill, obviously,
apart
which
from
has
the
already
hill.
been talked
So if you're a
about.
keen athlete, then go for the hill.
I have walked up it once, and I haven't ever again.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, not really. I had to walk through a field as well because I came from that way. So I have to walk through the field and it's got cows in it and they're a bit scary. So I would have to walk all the way around it, which I had like 20 minutes onto my journey.
But you came from the kind of the cemetery way.
Yeah.
Why did you? You don't
Because
have
that's where
to
my
cut
house
through the
was.
fields. But you could just use the path.
I know, but it takes an extra 20 minutes. I don't have time for that in the morning. I'm always late for everything. So
That's your own fault for getting attacked by cows.
yeah,
then.
that's true.
Let's look at some questions that have come in. So Diane as said, as students won't have been able to view or tour any buildings due to COVID, will there be an induction in the first week so students know where buildings and services are? That's the first part. So Diane, on that, there's going to be loads of information that our student services team will provide that will help students settle in as quickly as possible. Helen from the student services team is joining us later on. Let me check what time around about. Helen's joining us around about 2 o'clock, who's from the student services team. So they're going to be talking through all of the support that they've got in place for those first few weeks. And definitely we understand that it's been such a strange year and many of you won't have even stepped foot on campus until you arrive in September. So there'll be lots of support in place to help you through that. And then part 2 of your questions was, when will timetables be sent out? And is there a plan for fully opening due to COVID? So on the COVID one, head to keele.ac.uk/coronavirus. You can find all the information there for coronavirus that we know of. And obviously it is kind of ever changing. So we're constantly updating those pages. There's information for students there. There's information for parents as well. So make use of those pages. That's keele.ac.uk/coronavirus. On there, there's so much information. So bookmark that. And as things change with the government advice, we can update our guidance on there too. Our plan for September, I think, is still slightly hybrid. It all just depends on the restrictions, really. I think there's about 50 plans in place, depending on what happens, really. But whatever the restrictions are, we'll do our best to kind of work around that. And we're pros now. We've done it for over 18 months now, is it, something like that?
Yeah,
so
it's
whatever
been a
happens,
while.
just know that you'll be supported in that. Your timetable then, Beth. Do you remember what normally happens with that?
I want to say you do. So there's an app, there's a Keele app that you do get timetables on. So I definitely recommend doing on that, and you get it on your Keele, so that's like the blackboard sort of thing. So like when you're in school, you have the, what is it called? It's like a
Keele's the
website
Keele
you
learning
kind of
environment.
go
Yeah,
on
so
to,
it's your hub, isn't
and
it?
it has everything on there. So it has like your lectures, it has all your different modules, and then you can click on them. You can look at like your reading list, stuff like that, and it also has your timetable on there. I think they kind of get released a couple of weeks before term officially starts, but they don't officially go out until term starts because they can change before that, like room changes. Sometimes lecture times need to be changed depending on clashes and stuff like that. So I think there is an advisory one that's out a couple of weeks before term, but the proper one, I wouldn't use that until term actually starts. By term, they'll be right by then.
Awesome. Mustafa is there outside, so what we're going to do is we'll head to Horwood. We'll come to you in just a moment, Mustafa. What we'll do first is actually have a look at where Horwood is located in terms of the rest of campus. So let me just get that sorted, and we'll go back to Union Square, where we were. Now Horwood, oh God, you're so lucky with Horwood, I think, because you just have everything
It's really
on your doorstep.
close to the SU, the library, and
Keele
stuff
Hall
like that,
and
yeah.
places like that. So we're at Union Square, which is what we kind of class as the centre of campus. And from there, you head to Horwood, which is just here. So it's literally the next building across from the centre of campus. So point out some of those buildings. So you had the Students' Union, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which is just here. What else have you got nearby, Beth?
Oh, you got the Keele Hall, which is down at the bottom of the screen there.
And this is beautiful, isn't
Love
it?
Keele Hall.
Best place on campus,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a look at it later on, definitely. But it's it's the original part of Keele, isn't it? It's, and at one point, the university was just this building. And it's this building from the 1600s, and it's just stunning. And you're just across from that, and you've also got the lakes, haven't you, as well? So on a hot day, you can sit on the lawns, have a barbecue. In designated barbecue areas.
Yeah.
I've got you, Joe, got you covered. And then and just hang out. And you've also got the woods as well, so you can go for a woodland walk.
Yeah,
can't you?
that over lockdown, that's been a saviour. We've been using that woods like every other day to go for a nice long walk.
And if you walk, you've got the M6 here, haven't you, at the bottom of the woods?
Yeah.
And you've also got the services somewhere, which is here.
There, yeah.
Which has got a KFC.
Has it?
Yeah.
I never
you never
knew
done
could
that?
walk to that. No, I've walked to the M6, but
So
I didn't
students
cross
sometimes walk. I think they go down the original entrance, which is this path in the centre of the screen here,
it. Yeah.
and then somehow you can then get to the services. Which
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, there you go. The more you know. But yeah, Horde is great. So let's head to Mustafa, who's outside the KPA. Look at that. Look at the weather.
I know, it's so nice today,
There was
isn't it?
great clouds earlier.
I know, I was going to say it was quite great. I thought it started spitting a bit as well
Yeah, it's
when
now
we
lovely.
went on our trial scooter run.
Yeah. So the KPA, have you ever been in the KPA?
Yeah,
You had food
great
from the KPA?
food,
Oh,
delicious.
best. Yeah. Do you want to explain what the KPA is then?
So the KPA is a Keele Postgraduates Association.
That's
Is
it.
that the right title? It's basically a pub. Yeah, they do pints, drinks, wine, stuff like that. Food. The food's really good. I think they do like kind of like a tapasy thing, so you can get lots of different like smaller plates, and they're good. Their chips are really yummy. Oh, it looks quite busy
I
there.
know, God. Everyone enjoying the
Everyone's
lunch
going to be staring at him with this high vis on.
Yeah. Must review. Give us a thumbs up in front of the camera if you still got your helmet and high vis on.
Oh, you must not have
He
it
might
on.
have muted. Oh no, is he? Is he?
I left mine on.
He's
I
going to go
probably
to
should have
selfie
taken it
camera.
off.
Look. Yes.
Oh, he left it. I took
Fly.
my helmet off, to be fair.
No, he's kept the helmet on. He's loving it.
So yeah, the KPA is really good. It's open, I think, pretty much all the time. I don't want to say it's 24/7 because it will shut at
No,
night
it's not.
time.
It's not. But it is. It's
But
more.
it's
you
quite
can go in the
late.
evening, can't you?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
have a drink.
Especially when it's sunny, it gets quite busy in
Yeah.
lunchtime.
As you can see, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's already
I mean, it's
busy
not
now.
even term time. That's that busy. So this is Horwood, isn't it? So you're right next
Yeah.
to the KPA.
Yeah, it's really super close.
And Horwood is. It doesn't have they're all kind of quite similar rooms, isn't it, in Horwood?
Yeah, I think they're all. Well, I stayed in one with just a wash basin in it, so I shared toilets, shower, and kitchen and stuff.
So it's not kind of as varied as Barnes.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Horwood then?
I don't think I did. To be
You just
honest.
kinda-
I think I just kind of applied for a wash basin one,
And that's what you got.
and then I
You
just
were
got
very
given
not fussy,
Horwood.
which was
No,
which was
yeah, I
brilliant.
wasn't really fussy with it.
Yeah. And so you got the KPA, and then Mustafa's going to head down. I think see how fast you can do it, Mustafa. Have you got your? I'm guessing he's got the scooter with him, but he's going to head down to this. Is the laundry in front of us here,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So you get access through your Keele card. So you just scan it and then you go on in. You have to get. I think do they still use Circuit Laundry?
It is still circuit laundry.
Still
Yeah.
Circuit Laundry. You get you get a card. You put it in. You put money on it, and then you just kind of plug it into machines. Pay for your washing. Yeah, it's really convenient, and the drums are quite big, so you can get a lot of stuff in the washing machine.
Yeah, I've heard a few people like share as well to kind of save costs.
Yeah, we did that a lot in our first year. If I didn't have a full load, but I needed something in that wash to
Yeah.
be washed soon, you can kind of
Chip
share,
in.
and then the next time someone else will pay for it.
So and if you can, Mustafa, head down because as well there's the GP as well, isn't there? The
Yeah.
health centre.
Yeah, that was handy.
Which isn't just for Horwood, but you just lucky that it's right on your doorstep, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you're going to register at a GP's, I would definitely recommend the Keele one because it's on campus. It's really easy to get to. So yeah, I actually lived in Horde L, which is just ahead of us actually. So probably going to walk past my old room.
Mustafa's going a weird route. I didn't recognise this. health centre.
So yeah, I lived in the one straight ahead of you on the top left corner.
Wow.
And the GP's office is literally right behind that building.
Top left corner.
Yeah, on there. You can see it. That's where
your
I
old
live.
room.
I know. I came back last year to have a little look like around the outside and there was someone else in it and I was like,
Oh.
a bit sad because
You get
it's
possessed.
not my room anymore, is it?
So yeah, and then just on the right here is the health centre.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
health centre GP.
So what do you do? So when you arrive, you just kind of pop in, do you?
Yeah,
Or
I
sign
think
up
you
on the
just go in and register. It unregisters you from your local one. So where I am, I'm not registered there when I'm back home. But I'm still registered up here.
But it is recommended because you're obviously spending most of your time here, so it's
Yeah.
recommended to move over to a GP. Oh, go on, Joe.
Yeah.
I was going to say there is you can pre-register online before arrival, and there are links in our accommodation induction.
Yeah. And it is recommended. You were spending a lot of time, most of your time on campus, weren't
Yeah.
you? So it's recommended to move over to a local one. And you couldn't get more local than that.
Nope.
Right outside. So we'll have a look inside Horwood. So let's go for Horwood interior. Mustafa, thank you so much. You're free to come back. And what we'll do is we'll have a look inside I think we're in. So it's one of the ones on the
One by this A's right by the KPA,
right by the
isn't
KPA,
it?
yeah. But it's very similar, isn't it? I think the same.
Yeah, I
setup.
think they're all quite similar. So I think most of them have shared bathrooms, shared kitchen, and stuff like that.
So again, same as barns. You've got access to your own kind of area, don't you, with your rooms in, don't you?
Yeah.
So they're kind of all locked behind doors.
Yeah, even the front doors are locked. You have your key.
Key
Does
card,
that? Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, classic single bed.
classic single bed.
Yeah,
How did you find it?
it was
Big
alright
enough?
actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was big enough.
Do you know what I love about the Hallwood rooms? For me, you just got a lot
They're
more floor
quite
space, haven't you?
compact. Yeah,
But you've got
they're very square.
Yeah,
Most of them. Yeah.
but you've got kind of, because with barns you get lovely kind of a big bed, but you don't get as much floor space
Yeah.
as you do in Hallwood.
No, you do get a lot of space. And it's kind of got everything you need in it, to be honest. I have a lot of clothes, and all my clothes fit in my wardrobe and all the shelves and stuff. And there's loads of space under the bed. So I kept a lot of my food under there and spare toiletries and stuff.
On clothes, then, did you just bring everything? Because I've heard some people
No,
say
I didn't.
as they went back for Christmas, they pick up their kind of next seasonal outfits.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would
And
kind
kind
of
of
bring my
transition
winter
wardrobe.
stuff, and then if, say, I bought something to uni that I didn't really wear very much, I'd kind of take it home because there's no point keeping it here if I'm not going to wear it.
Because your room, I mean, for some people, this is kind of a normal size room, but the thing is you do a lot in here, don't you? So you can
Yeah, it's
study-
kind
you
of
can
your
study in
common
here.
space.
Yeah, so you don't want
It's
to
like a
clutter it
living
too
room
much, do you?
/ bedroom, yeah.
You don't want to bring
Yeah.
everything that you had at home. You just want to bring those essentials.
Yeah.
But as with barns, you get a nice big notice board, don't you?
Mhm.
Did you kind of make use of that?
Yeah, I did. I brought some pins. I think they were like little panda ones, actually. They had panda faces on them. They were quite cute.
Adorable.
Yeah, I brought those, put my timetable up there and stuff like that. You get given a Keele map, I think, as well. So I put one of those up on there.
And there's the wash basin as well. So you do get a wash basin in your room
Yeah.
in this setup. Am I right? Did they all come with a wash basin in Hallwood, Joe, or is it just a few of them?
No, just the Classic Plus rooms. There's shared flats and houses as well, so they don't.
I would definitely recommend a wash basin if it's within budget. Yeah, it was really helpful. Like when I just wanted to do my teeth, I didn't want to have to go to the toilet to do it. But yeah.
So you just got that kind of sink in your room where you can just kind of wash your face and do things like that.
Yeah.
A nice big wardrobe space where you can put stuff on top as well, can't you? Get a good view. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
better
they're
views
not
than that,
super
isn't there?
crowded, these ones. They're
Yeah.
like, it's quite nice. They're not all on top of each other, the rooms. And
So just beyond that
buildings.
building in front is the Students' Union there, so we're kind of
Yeah.
looking into the centre of campus from this perspective.
KPA's just on the left looking out that window as well.
Yeah. So in terms of Hallwood then, so your blocks of rooms, so you've kind of got a floor, haven't you? They're kind of a floor of people, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you share the toilet with that floor.
Yeah. So there's a kitchen and a toilet from my experience on each floor. And the one I was in, it was 3 floors. So ours, it was boys were on the bottom floor and then girls were middle and top. Obviously, that will be different in everyone. It's not always the same, but that's how it was for my first year. So it meant that you weren't sharing with loads of boys all the kitchen and the toilets and stuff, because I can imagine those toilets wouldn't be great. No offense.
What, with the boys' toilet?
Yeah, one of my friends
We're
had a
not
boyfriend, and
animals.
the boys' toilets wasn't that great. I'm
That's
just going off what I've heard.
that's just some people. Some of us can be hygienic in the bathroom.
But yeah, honestly, like Mustafa said, I've never had an issue waiting to use a toilet or the shower or anything. Like, everybody goes at different times. You probably went into it and thought that I might bump into someone going to the shower, but you literally never do.
Isaac has asked, do the rooms have Ethernet ports or is it Wi-Fi only? Joe, it's Wi-Fi only, isn't it, in the room?
Wi-Fi only, yes.
So if you have got any computers that are don't have a Wi-Fi card, bring an adapter or something like that.
Yeah, there are ports in the bedrooms, but they're not connected anymore. So, you
all
need
Wi-Fi.
to bring
We're
something
in
else.
2021, fully modern. So if you've got like a
that's a
gaming
nice
computer or anything like that, buy an adapter, a Wi-Fi adapter or something like that, just so you can connect it to the internet.
Yeah.
And it's great, isn't it? You get the university internet, don't you, in your room?
Yeah,
So
it basically covers the whole campus, basically, apart from, obviously, it'll cut out sometimes. Like Keele Hall, it's not very great, but in all your rooms, you'll have Wi-Fi, definitely.
and you're on the fast network, so it's the university network, which is you get great downloads and upload speeds as well.
Yeah.
So we're in the kitchen. So how many people did you share your kitchen with?
I shared it with 12, so there was 12 girls sharing.
Did you ever find that you were on top of each other, or you couldn't kind of have a hob space to cook?
I mean, sometimes our one was a bit smaller than this, if I remember.
I was going to say this shares with a few more.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
how
one's
many is
quite
this, Jo?
big.
How many is this we're looking
This is the whole sort of block. I think it's about 24.
Yeah,
Right.
some of them, all of them share just one kitchen. I think it's usually on the bottom floor the kitchen is. But mine was a bit smaller than this, and we didn't get a common area. We just had like a shelving sort of thing, like a worktop, and then I had a
Breakfast
couple of
bar.
chairs under it instead of the table because you're sharing with less people. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Everybody eats at different times. So,
Yeah,
It's not bad.
because you don't all have lectures at the same time, do you? You
yeah,
don't
and
all
because
have
you're only
classes.
cooking for one person, you don't generally need as much hob space and like as much cooking space because you're only cooking for one. And generally, in my first year, I cooked quite a lot of easy meals, whereas now I obviously splash out a bit. I buy my herbs, buy my fresh coriander, you know. But yeah, back in first year, I kind of just cooked pasta and rice and easy stuff, just because it's convenient and you don't want to be kind of clogging up the kitchen for 2 hours when somebody else wants to cook. I mean, I don't think you'd be in anybody's good books if you were doing that.
And most of us arriving at uni are not kind of
Yeah.
chefs. You've just come from home, probably. I imagine your meals were very beige to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of pasta.
That oven
nice.
saw a lot of use, did it?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
Welcome back.
pizza.
Hey everyone.
Hallwood looked lovely.
It was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
KPA looked like it was buzzing.
it was really good. I think most of it was families, to be honest.
Oh, on the
Families
tours. of
tours.
course,
Yeah.
So today, as we go around, you might spot student ambassadors in purple t-shirts with high vis on, touring people around. So they're what John mentioned earlier, the outdoor accommodation tours, which you can sign up to.
Do you know who I passed outside, by the way? I passed Trevor, the vice
Did
chancellor.
you?
Yeah. He
You know, I've
commented.
never seen him.
This is
on my
his offices
getup.
in this building. Yeah.
I've never seen him in my life.
There's offices in this building.
He was
Is it?
outside.
Oh.
Yeah, he
No,
commented
no.
on my getup. I looked
Did
very
he?
professional.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like, "Oh wow, very bright."
Trevor loves the e-scooters. Yeah, absolutely.
Does he?
I don't think he's ever done. So that's Horde. What I'm going to do, Beth, do you want to head off to Lindsay?
Yes, I will go
And
now.
whilst get your high vis hat.
Do you want me
helmet
to start at Lindsay Court?
on. Yeah.
Best way to start?
Let's go for Lindsay S and T at the top, and then we can work around to Lindsay Court. And whilst you do that, so Horwood, what have we got to? Oh, so Joe, pricing. I don't think we had the pricing for the shared flats and houses in Barnes as well. So do you want to recap those and then give us the pricing for Horwood here?
Yeah, well, the shared flats and houses are one price anyway, so regardless of Barnes or Horwood. So they are £4,276.09. The Classic Plus that we're in now is £4,195.80.
Smashing.
And that's
we've
for
got
37 weeks. Sorry.
37 weeks. Smashing. Thank you, Joe. Question from Jamal here. For the first week or two, I'll be arriving with my daughter, who will be a student at Keele. Congratulations. Welcome to Keele. By the way, if you got into Keele today and you're watching, please do drop a message in the comments. We'd love to give you a shout out and congratulations.
And if you're from TP Gang, way
TP
back in the
Gang.
way back in the day.
First, what was that? It was back in January, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
February sometime.
Yeah.
They've asked, Jamal's asked, is there accommodation for us to rent as an apartment until she's settled down? So, Joe, I think this is parents who want to kind of come to campus with their son or
Yeah.
daughter, and then want to stay for a bit. What's the best advice for those, Joe?
It is important to note that we don't allow guests in the accommodation to stay overnight in the first few weeks of the academic year, really, just so that students are given that chance to familiarise themselves and it doesn't put other students off. There is a hotel on campus now,
Marriott.
The Marriott, at the top of campus,
yeah.
yeah.
That's the one. So yeah, you can book accommodation there. There are other places in the local area. If you go on sort of websites, booking.com or Airbnb, there's plenty.
Smashing. Yeah, highly recommend the Marriott. It's stunning. We'll actually you'll go there on the campus tour on your e-scooter. We can have a look around. So yeah, there's plenty of places to stay. And in terms of kind of then staying overnight with people in accommodation blocks, then Joe, what are the rules on them? I'm guessing it's slightly up in there at the moment with COVID, but no. So
Yeah.
give us a COVID side, then give us when it's no restrictions.
Yeah. No restrictions. After the 2 weeks, you're allowed a guest in your accommodation for up to 3 nights. You register them on the accommodation portal, which is where you've applied for accommodation. So that's that bit. And then there's been various different bits with the COVID, but mainly that you're not allowed them overnight visitors.
Yeah. So the hotel is your friend in that point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're off to Lindsay now. I actually Lindsay is a great
your
one.
favourite.
What we'll do is we'll get let's get the map up for Lindsay. Let me sort that out because it has quite a lot. It's probably got the most, hasn't it, in terms of its kind of. I'd say it's got the best bar, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It has a bar and a shop. It also has there's like a dance area. It's like a multi-use area in the middle of it too. So lots of variety with Lindsay. There's so much going on. It's also nestled in the corner of campus as well, which makes it really, really nice.
Oh, you get the horses as well, don't you?
You
get so much good stuff. So we're over Union Square, as you can see, at the centre of campus, as we said before. And to get to Lindsay, it's just up and it's highlighted now in the blue outline. Now, there is quite a variety of rooms, isn't there, Joe? We're having a look at two. So we're having a look at an ensuite, which is Lindsay Court. But then there's also kind of shared facilities as well. Let's see where Beth is. See if she's got there yet. We'll be not there yet, so we'll check back in. But in terms of the kind of the site, then, so you say you've got the bar, haven't you? Which has got, which you say stays open half an hour later.
So the bar has a shop attached to it, and the shop stays open half an hour later than any other shop on campus, as far as I know.
Nice. Yeah. You got the common room, and it's kind of the location of it is. It's nice because you're slightly removed, but not too far removed, are you?
Yeah, exactly. You're like nestled in the corner.
There.
Yeah, and as you can see from the map, the whole of Keele is just surrounded by green fields, so there's really no noise pollution, no light pollution either in the area that you're in. So it's a really nice, quiet place as well.
And you're very close to Keele Hall. You just walk across. It's quite a nice walk, isn't it? You walk across the allotments, which is here.
There's also they have beehives there as well.
Beehives?
There's beehives. They make honey. Yeah.
Don't
worry, they're far enough away that they won't sting you.
No, I mean, beehives are great.
Yeah, and there's also the Memorial Garden as well, which is a really picturesque place to go and just study it as well. You have great views going down south of campus from there.
So the Memorial Garden is Keele has the largest collection of flowering cherries in Europe.
I think we got told 240 something.
Different species.
Different species. Yeah.
And the Memorial Garden is just full of cherry trees. Isn't it? The only thing about cherry trees is you only get about 2 weeks of the year when they actually flower, and you have to get out very quickly to enjoy them.
But it becomes so picturesque.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
It's amazing. And the Memorial Garden's full of them. Just one place on campus that's full of cherry trees. And there's benches, isn't there, so you could go and take your lunch and have lunch out there.
And right next to the Memorial Garden is Keele Hall.
Yeah, you got the Clock House and then Keele Hall here.
Yeah, and the Clock House is where music is.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in doing music here, then definitely apply to Lindsay. It'll be very convenient for you.
Let's check on Beth. Is Beth there? Nope.
Maybe she got lost. Maybe not.
It's not that long to get to.
No, it's not. It's very quick.
Lindsay.
Yeah, especially on scooters.
She must be having trouble with the technology. Let's just put it down to that. What we could do is we could go. Should we go inside a room first? Then we can always do the exterior after.
So I think we'll be showing you two different types of accommodation because Lindsay has a big variation.
Perfect timing.
Oh.
Right, Beth. Let's put you in, and let's go accommodation tour. Okay.
They've actually got a load of it blocked off.
No!
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're redoing. There's like a flooring company, so. I think they're redoing.
Is that just S&T, is it, Beth? Is that just the top end?
It looked like Lindsay Court as well, to be honest.
Yeah, so Lindsay STF and Lindsay Court are currently under refurbishment.
Nice. Well, that's a good
sign. That's a good thing for you
as an applicant. Nice for September, yeah.
Well, let's see what we can see. Let's have a look, Beth, see where we can walk.
Yeah, so I'm going around the edge.
Going around the edge.
The wall gardens are on my left.
Yeah.
That's the lovely walk. That's the
beautiful
walk past the allotment. And apparently the beehives, which I've never seen.
Yeah, beehives.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave my scooter here. Is that all right?
That's fine, Beth.
I left my scooter almost outside the KPA. Nothing happened. It was okay.
I'll leave it there.
Keele's just full of friendly people.
I love this walk because it's kind of quite jungly, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. talking about refurbishment, by the way, when I moved into Barnes, my room was just refurbished, and they had replaced the carpet, they repainted the walls, everything was pretty new, and I really liked it, really appreciated it.
I'm confused as to where we're going to come out here. Are we going to come out into where the common room is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you didn't know the way I was taking through Hallwood.
Well, when I
right?
did it, I go up past the
Yeah.
thing, so I just didn't know that would get you there.
No, as soon as you said GP, I was like,
Straight there. This is it. Oh, here we go. I'm recognising it now. So we're heading to the back end of the courtyard, aren't we here?
yeah.
Wow, big refurbishment, Joe. This is exciting.
Yeah. We always have one over the summer. A few blocks get refurbished. I'm trying to keep everything fresh.
Yeah. So Beth, can you even get to the? I bet you can't. Can you not get any closer in, Beth?
I mean, I'll try. I'm gonna.
No, it's what we can do is we can
Stop
put
the
to the one I made earlier, pre-recorded, and have a look around that if that's easier. Because it looks like the whole thing. Look at this.
Yeah, it's all cordoned off.
Whoa! Tell you what, Beth, I'm gonna whiz through.
Yeah, I don't think I can even get to it, to be honest.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's down there, the cafe.
That's the cap. Yeah, but what we'll do is Beth, jump back on your scooter.
Yeah.
And head back here. And what I can do is we've got this
It's perfect.
footage that we filmed
Yeah.
back in. I don't
One
know,
we made earlier.
One we made earlier. I can't remember when this was. It was. It must have been. Well, there's no leaves on the trees, so I want to say autumn.
Autumn? Yeah,
spring?
I mean, maybe
Can't be
last
spring.
year when we started doing live streams.
But as you just saw, so we go through the courtyard. What we'll do is we'll just point out the social spaces because they're kind of most important on the
Yeah,
outside. So the bit that we were just looking over the fence, this is what we've gone through into now. There's the Lindsay Studios, isn't there, as well?
Yes, that's why I sit my exams. It's a very stressful time for me.
You're not a fan of that building then?
No. Not that studio.
And you've kind of got this central area, haven't you, Lindsay, where on the left here is a common room. So what do people use the common rooms for?
Just to hang out, really. Yeah, just to hang out. If you don't want your room being absolutely trashed, you go to the common room.
And there's games, there's kind of a snooker table in there, is that right? Pool table?
Yes, yeah.
Not
yeah.
snooker, it's pool, isn't it? Yeah.
Also in the bar as well.
Nice.
There's one in the bar.
So that's called the Hexagon, and you can hire out the Hexagon, is that right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
societies sometimes hire it for their socials.
Multi-purpose area, just like you can hire out the bars as well for society use.
Nice. And then we'll head to Lindsay Cafe and Bar.
Yep, this is where I run to get my Ben & Jerry's at like 10:59.
And there's a shop, isn't there, that sells kind of takeaway stuff?
Not takeaway stuff.
Like, was in like Ben and
Yeah, like sort of
Snacks.
snacks. Let's just say snacks. It's probably the only thing that really sells that exponentially well because lots of students need snacks. They love their snacks.
and then you've got a cafe and bar as well.
Yeah.
And what's nice is all the accommodation surrounds it, doesn't it? It's kind of in the centre of all those.
Absolutely.
We'll skip through just the field here. So normally, I didn't catch any on this day, but there are horses in this field, aren't there?
Yeah, there are.
Which were very friendly. I
They're
find.
so nice. People usually walk past and they usually just see the horses and sometimes feed them.
Yeah. Well, let's head inside. So we'll head inside Lindsay Court interior and have a look at one of the rooms inside Lindsay Court. So this is a similar setup, isn't it? These are en suites, so similar setup to what we saw in Barnes Y and
Yeah.
Z. These are.
Exactly. So you'll find very, very similar stuff within the room, just presented in a different way and in a different location to Barnes.
So we'll head in. What I love about these Lindsay Court and Holycross that we'll see later is the size of the ensuite.
Yeah, so you think that Barnes would have bigger en suites, but actually I think Lindsay does.
I think Holycross has the biggest. I think it's just slightly bigger, but even these, the space you get on your sink, isn't it? Is
Absolutely
huge.
massive,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of stuff. Joe, do you get underbed storage in these as well?
They are ottoman beds.
Oh, yes. So
Most of them, should I say, are
Yeah.
ottoman beds.
yeah, so you won't just be sliding stuff under your bed anymore. You can actually just lift your bed up and put stuff in.
Inside.
Yeah, quite nice that as well.
Bedside table. So it's a double bed. What?
Is it
what's
3/4
the-
or
is it 3/4?
3/4.
3/4 bed.
Um,
But it's not nestled in like the edge of your room, so you actually find it does give you quite a lot of space.
you get a great wardrobe as well, don't you, with the shelves on the side of it.
I think they're bigger wardrobes than Barnes as well.
Yeah, there's not much in it, is there? But
No.
slightly.
Slightly bigger.
Nice shelf space. And you get a desk in the corner that we see as well.
Yeah.
What did you do to make your room your own then?
Honestly, not much, to be honest. Really not much. My room was very bland and boring, but my room now that I'm living in at the moment, posters everywhere. I really just wanted all my deposit back, to be honest.
Tom, hello. Come and join
Tom?
us. Come and join us. We're just taking a tour around Lindsay.
Yeah.
Did you stay on? So, Tom, grab the mic. Whatever's on the. Do you want to sit? Actually, Tom, sit in that one there for me, and grab the mic that's on that chair. Grab the other mic for me. Yeah. Perfect. Sorry. Which one have you got? You got 4 or 3 there? 3. Yeah. So this is Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hello. Hello.
So Tom, you were a student. You graduated. You finished this year.
Yep.
And you're now part of Keele SU.
Yeah.
So, did you stay in accommodation, Tom, when you're on campus?
I'm still on campus, but in staff accommodation now. Now, before I was in Barnes.
Oh, you did. So you did. Did you? So talk us through, because I know you did the sustainability bungalow, didn't you?
Yeah.
Before that, did you do any others on campus?
Before that, I was off, and then first year I was in New Barnes.
Nice. Okay. So you've done Barnes. So yeah. What we're doing is we'll get to our section in just a moment, Tom. But feel free to stick around and join us as we tour Lindsay, and we're just finishing off with Holycross as well. So we're currently inside the ensuite, which is massive in
Lindsay Court.
Yeah, Lindsay Court ensuite.
Yeah. The ensuites are huge.
Beth.
I'd be surprised if you fill up the entire ensuite with all your stuff. You really struggle to fill it up.
Awesome amount of space. So you never had an ensuite then, did you?
No, I never had an ensuite. Unfortunate, but I'm trying to save money here and there. so you have to make some cuts. But really, I've not ever struggled not having an ensuite at all. I think it's a luxury.
Yeah, it's not a necessity, is it?
No,
yeah.
Absolutely not. And the money I saved not having an ensuite, I spent on myself. So I bought some nice things for myself, and I eat very well. Let's just say that. Yeah. You also get a dining room here. So what we saw in New Barnes, so the barns that we saw with ensuites there, you got a dining room, and here you also get a dining room as well. Some accommodation blocks you may not get a dining room table just based on the size of the kitchens, but here you do. So a nice social space to bring everybody from the flat together.
Awesome. So what we'll do now, we'll head to, as we say, so this is Lindsay Court. Let's head to one of the shared flats and houses. Actually, just before we do, did we look inside the kitchen? Did we look inside one of the wings?
Yeah, this is one of the wings, yeah.
Did we see the kitchen space? I can't remember.
Not yet.
Not yet. So these are quite unique, aren't they? That either side you have a kitchen.
How many people are you sharing with, actually, Joe?
It's 8.
Oh,
well,
okay.
7 others.
Yeah.
So, like Tom says, there's 2 little small sort of kitchens either side. So it's sort of 4 each, but it's not a determined certain 4. Any 4 can use it.
Yeah, so I guess if somebody's not moved in or there's a spare room, then you can definitely put your stuff in there on the other side, on the other wing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what we'll do, let's go to Lindsay shared interior. Here we go. So again, on this one, more similar to what you stayed in, isn't it? This is
Yeah, absolutely.
you share your bathroom facilities, but similar room. You get these. Actually, remember these now. So these rooms, you have big floor space, don't you?
Yeah, you have a huge amount of floor space, especially compared to the other shared flats that you might find in Barnes. Absolutely massive. You could do yoga there.
you could do a full workout in that room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't recommend it, but you could.
Why not? We do recommend
I think I
workout.
actually
workout.
did do a workout once.
Yeah.
A full workout.
Just because you don't work out, Mustafa.
Wow.
The full workout? What do you mean? Why wouldn't you recommend the full workout?
By full workout, I thought you meant squat, bench, deadlift.
Well,
You can't
okay,
do that in
you're not
that.
going to bench. Or
That's what I thought you meant.
Because
Bring
you
your
could,
own
you
weights
could
to
squat in there just without the weights.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You could bring a couple of dumbbells, couldn't you, with you?
Yeah. Don't drop them, especially if you're on one of the floors.
What's going on up there?
Somebody would hate you.
But yeah, these always surprise me. You get a wash, but do you get a wash basin in all of these types of rooms, Joe, or is it again similar to hall with the variety?
Yeah, this is the classic accommodation, so they do have a wash basin.
I absolutely loved my wash basin when I was in Barnsley. Absolutely loved it. So useful.
They come highly recommended, according to Beth and Mustafa. Grab a wash basin. So yeah, decent wardrobe space again.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll tell you what, as we finish this off, you're going to Holycross, aren't you?
Yes.
So do you want to jump over? You head over to
I'll head
Holycross.
over.
We'll finish Beth and Tom will finish this tour with Joe as well. And we'll see you at Holycross so we can jump straight into that one. But yeah, so these are similar to Horwood, aren't they? But actually, Beth, you kind of lived in a similar kind of vibe to these Lindsay ones.
Yeah.
Did you ever go inside
I was
Lindsay?
No, I didn't know anybody who lived in Lindsay, actually. That was the one that I haven't ever been in, I don't think.
Ever been to Lindsay Cafe and Bar?
Yeah. Yeah, the food's good there as well.
Tom, Lindsay Cafe and Bar?
Yeah, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, they do good hot chocolates.
That was my first, actually, as an international student. I went there first for a pub quiz, and it was really fun.
Nice. Yeah, so that's, actually, yeah, because they do, so you arrive earlier, don't you, as an international
Yeah,
student?
like about a week.
And then you get a couple of kind of welcome activities don't you,
Yeah,
that
we do.
happen in those social spaces. That's awesome. Cool. So we'll head to I think after this we head to the kitchen. And again, so Joe, in terms of these then, it's Joe. Joe's ran off. Oh,
Sorry.
that's all right. It was bad timing, Joe. I was just coming to you.
Typical. Sorry, my mobile was going. I had to just.
That's all right. You could actually, Joe, once you've given us this, you could take a breather if you want whilst we travel this. But in terms of Lindsay then, so how many are sharing these blocks, do you know?
So these are because they're a classic rather than the classic plus. So you have got more people sharing the facilities. It varies block to block, to be honest. But yeah, you've got more people that share than Horwood. And also there's no dining area in the kitchen, which you'll see I think in a minute.
Yes. So we'll head into the kitchen in just a moment. And then what the pricing for this then, Joe? So in terms of the Lindsay Court and then also the shared flats and houses.
Yeah, so the Lindsay Court with the ensuite, so that is £6,143.48 for the 37 weeks. And then the classic where we are now is £3,986 and a penny for 37 weeks.
Why the penny?
Don't forget your penny.
That just, you just didn't like the round number, so I did a penny on.
No, obviously not.
Hate round numbers. Yeah, can't be having that. Now, interesting that, so the other ones we've seen, the kitchens have actually not been in use. Now, this is a working student kitchen, and I was very impressed with this one because they didn't know we were coming. This is the state of their kitchen full time, and I was impressed.
That's quite clean.
It's not bad.
Ours did not look like that. Ours was
impressed.
quite messy.
Up your game.
Clean now.
You're not here.
The first year it wasn't clean, but I made everybody be clean when we went off campus.
Yeah, great. And as people always say again, they never seem to find themselves on top of each other because people have different routines, different setups in terms of when they're studying and all that. Let's check on Mustafa. How's he getting on? Not there just yet. So Tom, as soon as you're here, what was your how did you settle into accommodation then, especially as an international student as well?
So I think as an international student, a lot of us end up going into the ensuite rooms, more comfortable in those, and especially in New Barns, it was amazing. Just really nice kitchen, massive as well for 8 people.
I imagine if you would have been one of the first. Were you the first in there?
I think we were the second year.
Second,
because it had just been built before, so we really had like the top notch of everything, and it was amazing in there because it wasn't. I also moved in with 3 other international students within my flat, so I wasn't alone in there. A lot of international students end up going into those rooms, so it creates kind of like a community between a lot of them. And once British students moved in, they filled in the rest of the rooms, and it's just such a nice place to live. I just love it so much. I miss that first year of New Barns life.
Nice. So how did you make it your own then? How did you kind of settle into your room? What were the things that you did?
Posters from the poster stall.
Yeah.
Posters. I got a TV. We also have a TV in the kitchen as well, which we always use together as just a flat. Getting plants, of course, those always help out to make it your own. Signs, just things to kind of like brighten up the walls, really, and it really makes it into something else.
Plants is true millennial behavior. That is
millennial
behavior. Love it. And then you actually then went on to live in the sustainability bungalow, which we kind of will show later on. But that's an interesting setup, isn't it? Talk us through what that actually is.
Oh yeah, the bungalow. So it's a student-led project, actually in Barnes as well. And there's 4 rooms, massive kitchen, massive lounge, and they've got a garden with about 9 beds, gardening beds, as well as a polytunnel, so a big greenhouse. And the 4 students in that house can take care of the garden, grow what they want, and then pre-COVID times could run a vegetarian and vegan society, inviting students to come have a meal every Tuesday at 7 that was made with the vegetables and whatever else there was from the garden. So really that community experience and living in the bungalow itself is just amazing. You can apply with your friends, you can apply individually, and it's pretty much just living in a regular house on campus. You get that privacy with a house that you don't get really with a room in a flat, and it's just an amazing experience.
It looked awesome because you did a few Instagram stuff for us, didn't you?
Yeah.
It looks so much fun. Most of it is outside Holycross, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Holycross and have a look around that before we then head into what Tom's actually here for, which is to talk about the student union. But we're just milking him for all his work. So Holycross, so let's take a look at where on campus it is. So it is the furthest away from the centre of campus, isn't it? But again, we're talking compared to a city university,
it's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's quite close to like the CSL and stuff. It's that end of campus.
Yeah, top end of campus or bottom end. I don't really know where north is.
I've got no idea.
It's at one end of campus, and this is it here. So there are 2 buildings. So you've got Holycross. Oh, Joe, you're going to have to correct me here. Which one's Holycross? Which one's the Oaks?
Holycross is the big one.
This one here on the right.
Yes, yeah.
That one there.
And then
the Oaks is on the left.
Oaks A is the one next to the road.
And then down the bottom
And
as well.
B is the one at the back.
Perfect. So they're kind of just off up here. And the nice thing about the Oaks is you've got the village just over there as well. So you can go to the Sneed Arms, the pub
I
in
know,
the village.
I've heard that. I've been there for a curry once and it was really good.
Yeah, nice. And just nice walks again. And you're not too far removed as well. And all the rooms in Holycross, Joe, are en suite. Is that right?
Yeah, the ensuite plus.
Ensuite plus. And here's Mustafa right outside. Look at the weather, man. What a beautiful day.
It's so nice walking around.
So go on, give us a tour around, Mustafa. So you're currently at the far end of Holycross. Oh, I know where you are. I know where you are. So you walk down. So you've got a bus station. So interesting that there are bus stations outside all the halls, aren't there?
Yeah, there are.
So you don't have to kind of go to. You don't have to walk to Union Square and then get the bus, do you? You can just get the bus from straight
The main
outside.
one's in Union Square, so, I mean, I'd recommend not going to that one because it's always really busy. Like, if you can just walk to the one in somewhere else instead, it's a lot quieter.
Yeah, I like it. Now, Holycross is unique in that it has a common room. It doesn't have a bar, does it? So it's
No, I don't think so.
similar to Horwood, although Horwood has the KPA.
Yeah.
But you kind of, so Holycross, but that doesn't mean you can't make use of the other bars, is it? You can still head across to Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay's quite close from Holycross.
And just on the left now as we turn in is the kind of entrance to Holycross and the Oaks. Same as the others, it's got a common room, laundry, hasn't it? That you circuit laundry. And my favourite thing about Holycross and the Oaks is that on Mustafa's right is the squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a big statue thing, isn't there?
So I think this tree was beyond saving. So instead of getting rid of it completely, we got an artist to sculpt a squirrel out of it.
It's quite cute, isn't it?
It's amazing. Nice. So most of it, very quickly, do you want to point to where the common room is? I think it's that building in front of you, am I right? There is the cross. That's the common room. And then behind you, Mustafa, is the laundry, isn't it? Boom. Do you know where the laundry is, Mustafa? I get a feeling you don't.
That's well.
I actually don't.
So it's
Where those yellow railings are. It's the next that little building next to it.
No, turn around. No, not those yellow
Not
railings.
those yellow railings.
Back to the entrance. This is fun.
I was gonna say, I can't even help. I've only been there once and I've never been
It's
to the
that
laundry.
building. It's that small outback building there you see in front of you, Mustafa. That's the laundry.
When you said behind, I got confused.
So that's the laundry for both. Is that for both blocks? Is it, Joe?
It is, yes.
Cool. And that's Hollycross and the Oaks. It's lovely, nice weather, and we'll let Mustafa pan round to the laundry, which he's finally found. There it is. Well done. Thanks, Mustafa. You can head back as we.
No problem.
We'll head in.
Just want to say, this will happen to you as a student. You're going to get lost.
Hello.
Good example. We'll see you back in just a moment, Mustafa. But what we'll do now is we'll head inside into Hollycross and the Oaks. So these are similar, probably most similar to Barnes, aren't they? Barnes.
Yeah, with the ensuite.
Y and Z. And X and W.
Just not as new.
Not as new, but
Quite, yeah.
what a bathroom you get. What a huge space.
Yeah, they're
you could
pretty
do a full body
impressive.
workout in that bathroom.
Yeah, so you get the big bed.
Nice
I
shelves.
think you get a bit more wardrobe space in these as well, don't you?
Yeah,
I
again,
think.
they look like the same wardrobes that were in Hollycross and the Oaks. I think Mustafa
Yeah.
was saying they're slightly bigger. So they look pretty decent. Again, you get you get a desk, all the normal stuff that you get in your room, don't you?
Yeah.
To make it your own. Pinboard. Do you find yourself in your room much studying? Did you use that space, or did you tend to go to the kind of library? Or
I didn't really use the library much, to be honest. I preferred studying. I get too distracted by other people. I have to be sat by myself
Are you a
with
people
no
watcher?
music.
Is that why you get
Yeah,
distracted?
I sit there and I watch what other people are doing. Or like if someone starts chatting to me, I never say no. Like I need to do my work. I'll just carry on.
Ah,
So I did kind of have to sit by myself in my room, to be honest, doing all my work.
nice. Tom, did you find yourself studying in your room, or?
Oh, all the time in Barnes.
Oh,
All the
you,
time.
you are a nice desk in Barnes.
It's expansive. It's half the room.
Yeah. More power outlets than I've seen in any room as well.
It's amazing.
Power. So yeah, so it's important to make it your own, then, isn't it? If you are spending that much time in there.
Definitely.
Lots of shelves. I know people use those shelves to store dry foods and stuff, don't they, in their rooms?
Yeah.
Then we'll whiz around in just a moment and have a look at the bathroom. So Joe, in terms of these spaces, then, do you want to give us the price? Is this the same price as Lindsay Court? Is it?
It is, yes. Yeah. It's £6,143.48
Nice.
for 37 weeks.
Perfect. We'll have a look into the bathroom in just a sec. Where's there? There we go.
Yeah, these are big ones, aren't they? These
Yeah.
bathrooms.
I tried to hide myself filming these.
Oh, was that you filming
There
it?
was no hiding in these.
Hence the wave.
Yeah. That mirror was you getting caught out either way. I think as well, someone who does the tours on virtual open was saying these showers are the biggest as well in terms of space you get.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Eric, I think it was, who was telling us that these showers are absolutely huge.
And they've got the glass doors as well. Like in New Barnes, we just had a curtain, for example.
Yeah, we
Ah.
had
Yeah.
curtains.
Bougie. Bougie. And yeah, just loads of counter space, which I think is awesome.
Always a plus.
This is just for one
Counters.
person. Your family home would probably have that.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then the kitchens are kind of similar to kind of Lindsay Court, aren't they? Really in Holy
Yeah, I
Cross?
want to say the one that I visited. It was kind of like the one with the wings. And that was
It
in the
is, yeah,
Oaks.
yeah,
I think
you
it was
see-
Oaks
you have
B,
the
I
wings,
think
yeah.
that was in.
They're pretty identical actually, aren't they? Yeah. So you get a dining space. Did you find yourself having kind of flat meals now and then? Yours was an antisocial flat by the sounds of it.
I don't know. I mean, the first night when we all arrived, we all cooked pasta because obviously everybody had bought pasta and sauces. So all 12 of us sat around and had pasta that night. But after that, not really. I mean, I teamed up with a bunch of girls. I think there were 4 of us, and we all organised a Tesco shop together, and we split it directly in 4, and we cooked each other meals. So I cooked like twice a week, but you'd cook for 4 people instead of 1. That makes sense.
Nice.
Which was quite handy because then I mean you could have a few nights off. Cooking every night can get a bit boring sometimes. So it was nice to have a night off or do something quite easy for a change, which was nice.
Cool. And again, so in your flat, remind us, Beth, because we haven't mentioned it in a while, but what do you get in your kitchen and what should you bring?
Do you get I'm pretty sure you get a microwave and a kettle. You have to bring stuff like toasters, toasty machines. If you want like I don't know, a coffee machine if you want to be bougie, you know. But I would definitely hold off on stuff like toasters because I didn't bring one and one other flatmate did. Because there's no point having like 4 toasters for the flat. You're only going to need one. And then if no one's brought one, you can kind of all chip in, put in 50p or something and just get a cheap one from Morrison's.
Yeah, a lot of people say just kind of
Yeah.
wait till you arrive, isn't it? And then buy one together.
Yeah.
Than having 7.
Could always go with Great Donate as well.
Yeah.
Great donate. Tom, what is
Little
the
plug.
great donate? What is the great donate?
So we collect secondhand household and kitchen items and then resell them at the beginning of the year as well as second semester. So we're actually planning around like 10 stalls at the beginning of this semester. So if you need any kitchen or household equipment, toasters, for example, we've got plenty this year.
Because actually, Tom, you became infamous for giving away free spoons, didn't you, at one point?
Yes, I did give away lots of spoons and make videos of those, but don't try and search them up because they're embarrassing.
They're amazing. I remember that. It's my favourite thing. Was that part of the Great Donate, was it?
That was, yeah. We got a whole box of spoons donated from catering on campus.
A lot of spoons.
Yeah, we still have them. I still have a box labeled spoons in the storage.
Nice. Nice. Where does that normally take place? The
So
stall?
usually we have the stalls just outside the SU. This year we're planning to do them at the Force of Light, so right
Nice.
bam in the middle of campus. Otherwise, the storage is located at the Sustainability Hub or Home Farm up by the new business building, the Denise Coates. Yeah.
Awesome. So that is Hollycross and the Oaks, and that is your final one, Joe. Joe, it's been a pleasure as always, guiding us around those accommodation blocks. Joe, before you go, what's your favourite accommodation?
The shared flats and houses.
In Barnes?
Barnes or Hallwood. I'm not that bothered.
Why shared flats and houses?
I just think they're a nice number. Like Mustafa was saying earlier, you know, I don't feel like I'd need an ensuite, so I might as well save the money and spend it elsewhere.
Nice, I like it. And Joe, any questions that anyone have got for the accommodation team? Then how's best to get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so you can email us at accommodation@keele.ac.uk. We're not on Unibody today. We will be on Saturday, though, I think.
Nice, cool. So you can do that. It has been a pleasure, Joe. Thank you so much, as always. You're free to go and continue on with whatever the rest of your day entails. I imagine it's clearing and helping people with their accommodation queries. Nice, awesome.
A lot of
Sounds good.
allocating.
Amazing. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break while we get ready for Tom, and also Helen from the Student Services team is going to join us as well. And Tom's going to tell us all about the Students' Union and welcome and all that. So join us in just about 5 minutes' time and we'll do that and we'll get then. So see you shortly.
weird holding a mic. Yes. Haven't done that.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. I'm joined now by Tom and Helen. Helen, who is from our Student Services team. So Helen, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what your role is at Keele?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Helen. I'm one of the Student Experience and Support Managers within the Student Support team at Keele. So we're a fairly new team. We deal with all sorts of welfare queries, assisting students with navigating different university processes, working alongside academic schools as well to make sure that everyone has a great experience while they're studying here.
Awesome. And then Tom, for anyone who's just joining us, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what your role is at Keele SU?
Yeah, so I'm Tom. I'm the newly elected full-time officer, activities and community. And so I deal kind of with like our societies that we have at the SU, as well as like kind of bridging the university itself with the local community, so Newcastle, under Lyme and Stoke. And so I work a lot on that, but then sometimes I'll help out with the other officers as well with their roles, yeah.
Awesome. So Mustafa, what we're going to do is, in preparation for the SU tour, you're going to head over to the SU and find a very kind member of staff who will let you go through the building.
Sounds good.
Take your mask, take your high-vis and health and safety stuff, and head over there and jump in the call, and we'll come back to you in just a moment. But yeah, essentially you guys, so the focus of today is that people have, they found out they got their place at Keele, or they're thinking of joining through clearing. They're arriving. Those first few weeks are kind of very exciting, but also quite nerve-wracking as well. And there's plenty of supporters that are in place to help students get through that and settle in as quickly as possible. So I think we'll start with you, Helen. So in terms of welcome then, what are the dates, first of all, for welcome then?
So yeah, that's quite an important one, isn't it? So so welcome for our international students starts on Wednesday the 22nd of September, and then the welcome period for our home UK students starts on Saturday the 25th of September. So that's when the move-in weekend officially starts, and when the sort of programme of activities properly kick in as well. Although we do pre-arrival activities, which are all going to be online this year. So we are running those in addition for students before those dates.
Amazing. So Helen, if you find out you got your place today at Keele, or you're kind of going through the process of being accepted through clearing, what are the next steps then? What should you do from there?
So first of all, congratulations if you've had your offer and you're coming to Keele, and we can't wait to meet you. So there are some key things that you do need to do, and please don't worry, they are all going to be they're all on the website, and you'll be told about everything that you need to do via email. So the first bit of advice I could give is please check your emails regularly for anything that comes through from us, because you'll need to know all of that info in terms of what you need to do. But some of the key things are enrolling online. So once we've made you an offer and all of that's gone through and you've accepted it, we will set you up with a Keele email address, and you'll receive an email to your personal account with all of that information. Once you've got your Keele email set up, you can then enrol online. So there's an online process where you need to upload a lovely photo for your Keele student card. Obviously, please keep it as a photo of yourself, because we will be checking. I think someone did try and upload a photo of a celebrity in the past, but obviously didn't get that one through. And you will obviously need your Keele card in order to access some of the stuff on campus. Once you've enrolled online, you can then go in and choose your modules. So if it's applicable to your course, if you can choose different modules for your course, then you can go online and do that. There's loads of online videos as well, and how-to guides to help you get through that process. Obviously, make sure you've got your student finance maintenance loan in place. Make sure that you've done your application for that. And the first instalment of your maintenance loan usually comes in around a week or so after you've enrolled. So just bear that in mind. you might need to budget for the first sort of week or so if your loan hasn't come in yet. And welcome can be a little bit more expensive because there'll be things like, you know, maybe signing up for joining different societies and paying a bit extra for attending events and that kind of thing. So just please do try and budget for that. If you've got any queries or worries about your maintenance loan, please contact the student finance company for where you live. But our student services team can also give a bit of advice on that if you need it. One thing I would suggest, and I'm sure you've already mentioned this today, Tom, but I would have a chat with our uni buddies who are going to be online and ask them for a bit of advice on budgeting and how they found their welcome experience, because I imagine a lot of them will say, didn't save enough money up and I probably should have, just in case, just for food and transport and books and that kind of thing. Obviously, once you've got all of that in place, just making sure you remember as well, if you are staying in on-campus accommodation, that you've paid your deposit in advance for your accommodation. Again, all the information will be emailed over to you and it's all on the website in terms of what you need to pay and when. But it's usually by the end of August or whatever date is on your accommodation offer. And there's also another little induction as well that you need to do for your student accommodation before you can then collect your room key. We've also recommend that you get your vaccinations that you need. Obviously, all adults now in the UK can have a COVID vaccination. We do encourage you to get that either via your GP or you can do the online booking service that the NHS offer. And also making sure that you register with the local GP when you get here so that you can be looked after if you become ill. And there is also a meningitis jab that we recommend that you get before you come. But again, if you don't manage to do that, you can do that at the GP practice here. So there's quite a lot of admin-y stuff, really.
Right, yeah. But you don't have to remember it all, do you, Helen? Because you're going to email it.
But you don't have to remember it. Exactly. Yeah. It will all be.
Because I've forgotten that already.
Just gone just straight over the head.
Straight over. But if there was an email, I'd nail it. I'd just work through my emails.
Exactly, and that's all we can advise you really is just check your emails. Yeah. And there is lots of help if you don't know what you're doing. You can just email in and ask for help, and there'll be people that will remind you what your next steps are.
Yeah, sounds like a lot, but it's actually very straightforward, isn't it? And there's lots of help online to guide you through it. Yes, very, very easy. Won't take long. So in terms of from a student services point of view, then Helen, in terms of arrival, then it's online this year, are the kind of the welcome sessions? So the pre-arrival sessions that we run, as in that will take place before our official welcome starts, will be online. So it just means that everyone can take part in those. Obviously, even if you've not got here yet, if you're an international student or if you're a distance learning student, you can take part in those. We're running lots of different sessions. It's during the week commencing the 13th of September. So from Monday the 13th, our student services teams, so that's the Residents Live team, our disability and dyslexia support team, and us in the student experience and support team will be running various different sessions just to kind of help you manage the transition a little bit easier in getting to university. So we're doing some kind of wellbeing sessions, transition to uni, like a hopes and fears session where we're going to involve some current students in, typical things that you'd worry about before coming to university. There'll be a session on money management, information for students with disabilities in terms of what support you can get and just reminders of where you can access that. Lots of different things about living on campus. We're also running some sessions for parents as well. So if you're a parent and you're absolutely terrified that your child or dependent is going to university and you want to kind of know what support is going to be there for them, you can attend those as well. On top of those sessions, which are obviously open to all students that are interested in them, we are doing some specific sessions for our mature students and for our local and commuter students, because there are often additional questions and worries that those students might have. So we're running those as well, and they'll be during that week, Monday onwards. And then they finally get to Keele, Helen, and kind of arrive on campus. And what happens then? So what's the plan for I'm guessing it's kind of, you've got a plan B, but what's plan A at the moment for welcome?
Oh, plan A is loads of in-person stuff. So there's team, and obviously Tom can talk through a bit more about what the SU is going to be offering in a bit more detail. But there's going to be teams from all over the university that get involved in welcome. So there'll be loads of stuff going on. So as I said, the SU will be running lots of kind of icebreaker activities. They're doing like a club night, I think is the hope. Some theme nights, headphone disco. There'll also be quizzes, doing different quizzes. There's some digital escape rooms that the library are running. Alongside like the library inductions, there'll be the society sign-up fair. Our Res Live team are doing some like little sort of craft sessions and Insta photo walk. And as soon as you get to Keele, you'll realise we're quite famous for taking lots of photos of campus and putting them on Insta. There's lots of nice things to take pictures of. And like craft sessions, film nights. So there's loads of different interesting stuff that you can sign up for, just to, I guess, experience and try things out and learn a bit more about what the Keele communities can offer you.
Awesome.
So there's lots going on.
Yeah, and we'll go through more of the SU side in just a moment. But finally, Helen, from you then. So if you need any support from now and throughout welcome and throughout your time at Keele, actually, isn't it? What support is in place for you?
So we have, as I said, we're a fairly new team to Keele. So we are quite a vast team. There's 3 teams of student experience and support staff within each faculty at Keele, and there's somebody that represents each academic school. So we're really easily contactable if you have any problems at all while you're at university, if be that homesickness, mental health problems, issues with where you're living, maybe family issues with your academic studies. You can contact us and we'll be able to help you and point you in the right direction. Easiest way to contact us is just by emailing student.services@keele.ac.uk. You will send that email through. The first line team will take your email and will know what school that you're in, and they will assign you to the correct person and somebody will get in touch with you. And you can also book either face-to-face or virtual drop-ins with the members of staff if you need to talk about anything. There's availability, you can book it all online. But we've also got, as well as our team, there's the disability and dyslexia support team, as I've mentioned. There's also counselling and mental health who offer some excellent support there if you need something a bit more focused. And we've also got the faith and chaplaincy teams. So if there's something that you want to talk about that relates to your faith, or just have a nice chat and a cup of tea, they're just a really nice, friendly bunch that you can pop into the chapel and speak to whenever you want. But yeah, it's dead easy. Just email the student.services email address or just go onto the website, keele.ac.uk/student services, and all the info is on there. And we are here to support you throughout your whole time at Keele.
Amazing. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Helen. If that's everything, then you are actually free to go. And thank you for giving us a whistle-stop tour of student services. But as you said, pop on the website. There's loads of information there, isn't there? If you need to kind of recap on anything from there.
Absolutely. And also just to mention, we have got some welcome buddies as well, who are current Keele students who can kind of help you navigate that first few weeks of Keele and beyond. So if you are interested in requesting one of those, you can do that again on the website via our student services pages.
Amazing. Thanks, Helen.
Well, thanks very much.
See you later. We'll catch you in a bit. Bye.
Bye.
So over to you, Tom, onto the SU side of things. So first of all, for those who don't know, what is a students' union then?
So as far as what is a students' union, we're actually independent from the university. We're an independent charity, and we're there to represent the student body. So, for example, myself and my role and the other 4 officers we're there to take your questions, problems, whatever you have, and turn it into action. Whether it be in the university or at the students' union, we're here for you guys, for when you come here, and we're here for your experience. the union itself as well has lots of operational staff. We've got an activities team, a voice team. We run yearly elections for societies as well as officers. And so we're really a democratic organization on campus for students. That I think that's the really simple definition I can give for it.
But it's awesome, and so you've got obviously all that support, but you've got the nightlight you're building. You've got your incredible building, which we'll take a look at in just a moment.
Yeah.
There's so much, isn't there?
There's so
and it's
much.
led by students, as you say. So you are one of 5, is it this year?
5 officers,
Talk us through the other officers. Give us a quick hello.
Yeah, so we've got myself, activities and community. We've got Holly Brooks, who I think I saw earlier in the stream, made a quick appearance, who's our UDD, so Union Development and Democracy Officer. We have Jack Medlin, who's our education officer this year, Dan Lay, who's our welfare and diversity officer, and then Lucy Whitehouse, who's our AUN sports officer. So we've got a good range of officers to support students this year.
Awesome. Let's try then. Mustafa, I think Mustafa is there outside the building. There he is. Let's try and have a tour of your beautiful building. So it's in a great spot, isn't it? That's Holly.
There's Holly, our UDD for this year.
Is Holly going to tour us around? Is that
I think she'll be the physical representation. I'll be the voice, I guess.
You're a member of staff guiding us through. You're in a great place, aren't you, with the student union? You're on the centre of campus.
Right in the centre, on the Forest of Light, where all the shops are. It's a perfect location for socials, for societies. It's amazing. Yeah, right in the centre.
Go on.
We've got the parking lot as well, and all the Zwing stations around now too.
So that's where you pick them up, isn't it? So you can pick one up and you can ride it into the centre of town from there. Let's head inside. So let's head down. So is this kind of the nice outside bit, isn't it? You can play some table tennis here.
Yeah, we've got table tennis. You've got the chairs and tables outside for the union kitchen. Here we're coming up to the Keele SU gazebos, and right to the right there, usually societies go out. This is where we also usually have the Great Donate and other types of events that societies or the SU might run. There you can see Dan as well and Matt Steele from Ask.
It's a full tour. This is great.
And right here, we're coming into the main entrance. So this is where you'll come in for socials and other things. And right here, you can see the reception used to be right in the middle, but it'll be in the hub now to the left where the Way to Go shop is. So you've got some study spaces in the back there, and Liam's giving a tour as well right now. You can see him. But yeah, there's some study spaces right there. You've got the cafe, which will reopen up as well. And then just in the main area there.
Well, that must have his signal catch up. There we go.
We're in the main area of the ground floor here. And Holly wonderfully presenting
Look at this model.
The seats. But here you can grab a bite to eat and some drink and just sit down on the ground floor of the SU and just chill with friends. You can study. Plan your new society that you might want to create. There's plenty of space for you to use in the SU for whatever you want to do. And here you can see the Union Kitchen. So at the moment during the summer, we've got the pop-up shop as well, which you can buy meal deals from and all your necessities if you're on campus. And then the Union Kitchen also has hot food and hot drink for you to buy.
Nice. Did you mention the Amazon lockers as well?
Yes, we've got the Amazon locker there too. So you can order your stuff to that and come grab it at the SU and grab a hot meal while you're at it too.
And then we have a shop.
Yes.
The shop side. Is it shut at the moment?
There's lots of changes with this shop right here. So first of all, you got the Ask service desk to the right here. And so Ask deals a lot with student inquiries. So that can be with housing, for example, if you're having problems with your off-campus landlords, you can ask them about finances. They're really just a really informative team, and they'll help you with really anything, and you can find their email on our website, keelesu.com. And then as far as the shop goes, which is where the double doors are, in there we have the Way to Go shop where you can bring jars and fill those up. So it's products without plastic. There's rice, pasta. There's even powder to make vegan burgers. There's about everything. We've got milk alternatives in there as well. And in there, there'll be more space for study as well next year, which is really exciting.
Oh, awesome.
So there's going to be a lot of space to have a sit down to either eat, study, or just have a little bit of a relaxing session with friends next year. I see Liam again giving his tour. And if you go to the right here, you can see the blueprint. So this is one of our bars that we have in the SU. And so when there's a social in the SU, all the space will be open for you to use. So there you can see the massive bar that we have. And then right behind you as well is the ballroom, which at the moment is closed as they're getting it ready for next year. But you can just about make it out. You can just peek in a bit, but you can see how big our space is for socials as well as nights out. It is really, really extensive, and it is amazing. We get groups in, like we've got Circa Waves actually this Friday. We've got everything in April. So it's really just an amazing place to relax and go out with friends.
So that's where kind of the main nightlife welcome activities take place,
exactly.
So that's your big. That's where everything pops off.
Yeah, and then in there as well, we'll have a lot of Welcome Week events. So where all the society stalls will be, where you can find clubs, they'll all be in there and outside as well. So here we're going into this famous squirrel. So there you can get hot food from the Union Kitchen during the day as well before socials. This will also be open for socials and nights out. So there's lots of tables for you to sit at. Sometimes we'll do pub quizzes and other things like that. We've got the little stage where DJs will go to, the bar. And then we've got, I think there's a cocktails bar too. Yeah, there is right there. But yeah, the Squirrel's a nice place to hang out during the day as well, get some hot food. There's quite a lot of people that use that space as well on the second floor. And then otherwise through the hallway there, we've got the K2. I don't know if it's open though.
Mustard's going for it. He's going for it. He's gone rogue. But in terms of the Squirrel, that's kind of like your restaurant. You're not as kind of intense nightlife, is it, the Squirrel? It's your pubby kind of...
That's it.
Less
Yeah, it's more of the pub of the SU, but it does turn into the center of really the night. The night, yeah.
They play music.
Yeah. That the whole second floor pretty much just turns into one big social. Yeah. You can go to every bar. You can go. You can just explore really. Oh, he's going down to the K2 exit.
Is Holly still with you, Mustafa? Or she left.
Hey, there she is.
Can we not see where you guys are, Holly? Where the officers sit within the building?
Oh, we can do. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go to where, because you've got activities, haven't we, up there as well?
Yeah. So activities, voice, everyone who works pretty much in the SU is up there except for Ask, who's on the bottom floor, as well as of course our Union Kitchen staff and all that.
So we're going up to the next floor, which is look at this. What a tour. So we're going up. So this is where you actually. Yeah,
this is where I came from today.
And under normal times, people can pop in and visit the offices, can't they?
Normal times, and at the moment, due to the pandemic, we're not having people up on the third floor, but hopefully soon enough we'll be able to open that up for visits and all that. So that's another door to the ballroom right there.
Nice.
And then, so this is going up to the third floor. Holly's climbing up the stairs.
Did you fall over? Did we just catch that on camera, Holly? Did you fall over?
And so to the left all the way down, you've got voice, activities. There's also society storage to the right. So that's where all the society stuff is stored. Those stairs take you up to the roof, so don't go there. There are lines on the floor, so you can see where each office space is to easily find where to go. So there you can see the Mars room. You've got entertainments as well as, of course, our office. If you go all the way down, you'll find yourself in entertainments and the Mars room, which is like a meeting room. But here we'll be going into the sabbatical officers, which is for the 5 officers that I introduced earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I bet she's doing.
Here we are. So we're still.
Oh no.
We still have. Is that Jack right there? You can see. Yeah, I think so. We do have. So we've got 5 desks. Holly can show you around her desk, I guess.
Very neat.
That's a Bulbasaur I made.
Was that your desk or Holly's?
That's Holly's.
Oh, okay.
I have a hobby of sewing things. But yeah, we're using the Mars room at the moment too for COVID separation. Distancing. Nice. So we've got Lucy's desk to the right, and then we've got my desk to the left there. It's a bit of a jungle with all the plants at the moment. But yeah, otherwise, so we're pretty much always in now. You can email us, you can message us on our socials. We're always available to help. But yeah, that's our wonderful office, which just got repainted as well. It's looking really nice.
You guys living the high life. Mustafa, do you want to head outside for us if you can? So we passed. On this floor, you got the offices. You've also got activities. So we should probably talk more about the activities because there is so much at Keele, isn't there, to get involved with? So much.
So we have already 100+ societies here at Keele, and there's more being created as we've got applications open now. So if you want to make a new society, you can.
So obviously you have these societies that already exist, like.
Yeah.
Oh God, why when you come to name a society?
Think Green.
Think Green. The Yorkshire Tea Appreciation.
There's Harry Potter.
Yeah,
there's everything.
So you've got these societies, but then if I'm like, I would love to get a group of people together to do this. I can just make that, can't I?
Exactly. You can just contact either us or the activities team, and we'll work with you to like make that happen. If you want to run, I don't know, some type of social event, or here we're outside in the outback, so this is actually open on nights out as well. So if you need some air, you can come out into the outback, which is honestly my favorite spot. In the
Not the outback. Oh, there we go. We're back.
We're out in the outback. But yeah, if you want to run any events at the SU, just ask one member of the team, and we're all happy to help and make that into reality. We're here again for the students, and so if you want something to happen, we'll help you make that happen. Whether it be a pub quiz, whether it be a night out for your society as well. We're happy to help with anything. So we're back in the main Union kitchen space here.
Cool. Have we got anything else to see, Mustafa, or are we done on the inside? I think we are, aren't we? So you can head back into the shows. Actually, Mustafa, let's just have you just walk back to us so people can see actually how close we are to the SU.
We've got the new co-op as well coming in.
We have, and we'll go through that in the campus tour in just a moment. We've got a full campus tour where we can show more of that. But let's get back to, as Mustafa walks back to our studio, in terms of, so I can make a society of my own. And it's really, really ace. So Beth, what did you kind of get involved with then outside of your studies?
So I was part of tennis and dance were my two main societies I joined.
So tennis is you got sports and societies, haven't you?
Yeah.
So they're slightly separate, aren't they? So you did one sport, one society, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, one of each.
And how did you kind of get involved then? What was the process of joining?
So I knew I wanted to do them because I've been doing them for ages. I've been doing them since I was like 3. So I knew I wanted to do those two because I took a year out. I took a gap year, so I knew I wanted to kind of get back into it. But they do have in the Welcome Fest, they have like an activities fair?
Yeah, so we'll have a societies and clubs fair again, and one of my goals actually is to create more of those so that way more students can know about them.
Yeah,
since we have so many.
Really good because there's so many societies, like more than you could even imagine. And a lot of them go to these activity fairs and they have like tables and they have members of the not society, what's it called? The committee, that's what it's called. Members of the committee will be sat on those. So you can ask questions, you can join right there, and then most of them have QR code that you can just kind of take you to link to the website. And obviously you have to pay for membership for these kind of things, but it depends which one to how expensive it is. Like I think dance is quite cheap, but AU ones are a bit more expensive because you have to pay for like insurance and use of the courts and stuff like that.
Some societies in the end they're free or
Some
a pound
free,
as well. So it's really worth joining as many societies as you possibly can. Even if you don't think you're interested in it, join it. It's just really fun opportunity to get involved. And you can check out our societies at keelesu.com. Everything's on there, and it's just amazing to get involved.
Yeah.
Questions going in. So when do international students need to arrive? So on that, check your emails. If you've been accepted on a place at Keele, check your emails and all that information will come through via email. International students, as you said earlier, Tom, arrive a couple of weeks early, don't need to the rest of them.
Yeah, I think international welcome is on the 22nd, I think. So I think that should be the day they're coming in.
Hopefully it will. It will all depend on quarantine and those sorts of things as to how early you arrive. Look, we're behind us. Hello. That's the route back.
Oh, and Holly's here.
Holly, come take a seat if you want. You can finish. We've got a mic just there for you. Let's go. Can I get the full? We need to be tipped. There we go. There's all of us. So, hello, welcome into our studio. Thanks for the tour. That's a very in-depth tour. We weren't expecting that.
Welcome. I wasn't expecting the cameo either.
Melt a camera and ran for it. Yeah. That's it. So we're actually on about societies and sports now. So in terms of sport then at Keele, and actually Holly, you were involved as a student in the rugby, was it?
It was rugby.
Women's rugby. How does sport work then? To get involved with sport?
Work? So
is it many levels? So if I'm someone who's a competing athlete or I'm just a hobbyist, can I still get involved?
Oh yeah, of course. So during Welcome Week, there's normally a sports fair that goes on, and during this sports fair, loads of sports teams have setups, and they basically want to recruit you. So you go around normally the sports centre hall, and see what's about. You may sort of come to university and have interests like I did. So before I was involved with rowing and football. But as I went around the hall, I was like, not really feeling their vibe. Went to women's rugby, great group of girls. They were like, oh yeah, we're really excited to have you. The thing is with women's rugby, you don't get many students that have played rugby before coming to university. So they were like, oh, you can just try it out. I went to some taster sessions. Most sports do taster sessions before you have to sort of pay a membership fee. And I went to the taster sessions and loved it from then and stuck with it throughout the whole years. But we do also have a talented athlete program. So if you're competing at the highest level and you have an interest in a certain sport, you can get involved with our talented athlete program, which basically lets you have access to PTs and the S&C Centre where you can train, and that will be all covered by the university.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then Tom, what were you involved with as a student then?
Yeah, so actually my first year I got involved with...
The scooters are shouting at
The
us.
swings are yelling.
Is it still going, is it? Yeah. That's fine. It's just to say hello, that's all.
Yeah, so first year, my background is actually martial arts before I got to Keele. So I ended up joining jiu-jitsu, judo, taekwondo. There's a whole bunch of them. I think I stuck with taekwondo for a couple months before I really got involved with societies. Maybe a bit too much at some points, but I really got involved with Think Green, which is like our environmental sustainability society that we have, and I got more involved this year, my last year, especially with Amnesty International and Think Green, which I ended up becoming committee on, and we ran events even online, which got loads of attention. We ran online pub quizzes with prizes. We got online game nights, just a whole load of things to try and give students that community feel. Before we did litter picks within Think Green and gardening sessions and a whole bunch of different things that students could get involved with. Even if you're not into like green activities, it's great for your well-being. It's amazing. And then Amnesty International, we raised a lot of money for different charities in the local community, and it's just a really amazing work that societies do. Not only the ones that I've been a part of, but all societies just do such amazing work, and I really really think everyone should get involved with them. It's just amazing. Yeah, clubs or societies.
As much as I loved my course at university, but it was all the stuff I got involved with around that really made it my, you kind of, they're the things that you remember, isn't it, when you leave, all the bits you got involved with outside of your course.
They make your experience. For
sure.
Exactly, yeah.
So as you say, go to let's moving on to welcome then. So in terms of joining then, there's normally a freshers fair. Is the plan for that to take place normally this year?
Normally.
Wow.
Normal.
We're going to see real faces.
Wow.
Real people.
So talk us through freshers fair then. So this is where you find out about all the clubs and societies, isn't it? And you can meet them and join from there, isn't it? And that takes place in the SU, does it?
Yeah, and the Sports Centre for Clubs. And we're hoping to get a lot more out. So, for example, during open days today, we've got societies actually on campus all week, showing what they have for students. And so we'll have those available for students with all the societies in the ballroom, which is just an amazing like community feeling.
It's going to be so weird, but amazing at the same time.
Yeah, it will. And for some students, they may be a little bit apprehensive of joining a society and going back to those in-person events. I know that some societies and clubs are still going to keep sort of some online activities. So especially for those students who commute, there'll be still something there for you. You won't feel isolated at all.
Yeah, and for those who aren't feeling comfortable as well, we've got different timings during the actual fair, so you can come earlier where there's going to be less footfall before really crowds come in, so that way you can feel more comfortable going around the fair. If you don't want to be around a big crowd as well, so that'll be available for students as well.
Of course, you could always look online. We
Or that
have
too,
all of
yeah.
our societies
Yeah.
and clubs listed and all their contact details, so
Yeah.
they're always just a message away off Facebook or email.
Nice. Question from NJ. They've asked, what literature or game-based societies do you have?
Yeah, so we've got Gamer Base actually, which is a society. They usually go out to Barnes Bar actually, and they bring Xboxes, they play a whole bunch of stuff. We've also got a professional gaming team, don't we? I think.
Yeah, we do. They occupy a lab in one of our IT suites.
Is it the esports lab, is it?
Yeah, it's proper swanky.
It's
proper
great,
mechanical
yeah.
keyboards and everything. And they actually go to competitions. I was unfortunate to not get involved in it, but it would have been something I would have really loved.
And as far as was it literature
yeah,
as
was
well?
the other
So
one,
we
yeah.
do have Creative Writing Society, which is still ongoing, and I have heard through the works that we are going to regain a book club society, or that will be moving along with creative writing. So there are a lot of societies within that, especially creative writing, that you can get involved with and join.
But of course, if there doesn't seem to be the right society to you, for you, just get in contact with the SU, and we can make up a society,
Yeah.
and we can make you through democratic processes. You'll have a president, a treasurer, a secretary, and there's your society,
Yep.
and you get some funding through the SU.
And without that, we wouldn't have Quidditch.
Well, some might say for the better.
Shots fired. Shots fired. But yeah, new society applications are up on the website right now, and they're live till the end of the month. So if you want to create a new society before coming to Keele, go right ahead. They'll reopen in during the winter break as well, so that's always open for students to do.
Nice. So yeah, back to Welcome then. So you've obviously got Precious Fair. What's the plan then? Talk us through Welcome Week this year. For what can students get involved with when they arrive? What's the SU offering?
Well, of course, we've got a lot of our nighttime events. So acts will be coming in. But this year we're trying to make a lot of daytime events as well. So in the works are some kind of British Tea Day, sort of in the outback, and inside the SU. We've got international welcome as well. We've got international events, and we've got a plan, but we haven't really made it public yet. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. But we've got a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, it'll all come out on the KeeleSU website pretty soon, I think, actually.
Yeah, when are you announcing your lineup? Do you know? Is it still kind of...
Ooh, I'm not too sure about that. It'll be before Welcome Week, honestly. But no, follow our Instagram streams, and you'll get all the updates from there, and I'm sure they'll make a big thing about it.
And in terms of... Because there's an SU group, isn't there, on Facebook that's really useful to join?
Yes. I think it's called Keele University Student Life 2021 to 22.
Is it available now? Is it there?
No, it's not available yet, but it will be soon.
I believe in the next few days it'll be made public. But that's where we communicate a lot to our students, and that's sort of the main Facebook group where other students interact, even like recommendations of where to get a tattoo or your haircut in the local area. A lot of students find that really valuable place to get information.
Yeah, it's a community hub on Facebook is what it is. People put up questions. They put up, I've got a room free in my accommodation. You can find everything on there. Societies will post on there as well. It's not just the SU using it. So everything that you want to learn is really on that Facebook page. So definitely join that when it goes live.
And top tips then. So when you arrive, what's the top tip? What should you do straight away when you
Join
arrive?
a society.
Sports club.
Go for Think Green Committee.
No, I'd recommend definitely getting your bearings. The amount of times I had to pull up a map being like, how do I get to my lecture? Just to familiarise yourself with the campus environment. Definitely take a walk into Keele Woods. It's a lovely open space.
Amazing.
I find that space was really useful for when I just wanted to sort of escape everybody and my housemates sometimes. It really useful. And then definitely check out the SU building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say get in contact with with the people in your flat as well, because you may not be coming to campus with people you know. So the people you meet in your flat or wherever you're going to be off campus are the first people you meet. So definitely get in contact with them, and maybe take a cheeky look at the KPA, which is right behind the SU near Horwood, because they've just renovated it and it looks amazing. It's this like on-campus bar, so the Keele Postgraduates Association, but they accept everyone, and they have really good food, and you can grab a bite and a drink, and it's just like a homey pub on campus, and it's amazing.
Awesome. And fingers crossed, things start to return to normal. No more road bumps in the way.
Don't jinx
But
it.
if things happen, you are always prepared, aren't you, to kind of.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
You're
I
experts in
think we've
providing
learned-
online entertainment now.
Yeah,
and all
for
that.
sure. We've learned, especially from the year,
Yeah.
and we're really keen to keeping those online elements because they were really useful for a lot of students.
Well, thank you both. Anything else to add? Anything else you want to plug before you go?
Just come into Keele SU.
Come into
I would say.
And
yeah.
definitely check out the website. Go to keelesu.com. Check out our volunteering. Check out the societies and clubs we have on there. It's really simple to use. There's all the tabs at the top. And everything on there is it's all got really useful information. Really, check out our society list and the club list before you come to campus, so you get an idea of what it looks like. And yeah.
And if you see any of the sabbatical officers, come say hi.
Yeah, come say hi.
Very
We're
kind
people too.
Awesome. Well, thank you both. Thank you, Holly, for joining at the last minute. That was awesome. So yeah, I'll let you both go. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to finish off with a tour of campus where we'll be riding around on the e-scooters. Beth and Mustafa hopefully will be travelling around and showing you the rest of campus in just about 4 minutes' time. So see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
welcome back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a tour of our campus. And Mustafa and Beth are currently off on the e-scooters and they're heading to a variety of places around campus. So if you're watching and you want to see somewhere specific on campus, drop it in the comments and we'll do our best to go there today. But we're going to start at Union Square and then head off from there. But just to say before that, as they make their way to the different locations, I'm just going to recap the things, all the important things from today that you should get involved with. Again, if you haven't quite got the results you're expecting or you're still looking for a place and want to join Keele in September, you can still do that. If you head to keele.ac.uk/clearing, you'll reach this page here, which is our clearing hub. And as our hotline on there, 01782 491 120. And if you call that hotline, you'll get through to our admissions team who can just talk you through, tell you what courses are available and talk you through your options as well. So feel free to give them a call if you need to. And on this page, there's lots of useful information. You can also see the clearing vacancies as well. So you can have a look at our courses, have a look at the entry requirements, and just have a look at all that information on that page. To make use of it, that's keele.ac.uk/clearing. Then as well, we've also got UniBuddy. And if you were watching earlier on at the start of the stream, John mentioned this. It's keele.ac.uk/chat. And UniBuddy is the place where you can get in touch with students and staff from across the university. It's a really, really useful tool, especially during COVID, because you can have one-to-one conversations with members of staff from across the university, pop your level of studying and the area of study that you're interested in. So if I'm interested in criminology, and I can have a chat to Kyle, who's one of our student ambassadors there as well. And I can do the same with staff. So I can chat to our admissions team and chat to our admissions tutor there. But I can also chat to some of our other lecturers as well from across the university. So that's keele.ac.uk/chat. It's really, really useful. And another thing as well is if you can do so and you are interested in taking a look around Keele, we have our outdoor campus tours taking place, and you'll see some of them as we do our campus tour now. You'll see some of them taking place, and if you register on this expression form, you'll be able to come onto campus and have a guided tour with one of our ambassadors. But we're going to give you a guided tour now using Beth and Mustafa, and I can see Beth is currently she's in Union Square. Hi, Beth. Are you? Yes, I could hear you. Perfect.
Screen around.
Look at that.
So I'm in front of.
Oh, bear with me, Beth. I don't think I've got your audio coming through. Just give me just a sec. Oh, no, I have. There we go. Talk for me, Beth. Say hello.
Hello.
There we are. Got you. So you're in Union Square. So this is the kind of the centre of campus, isn't it? Do you want to show us around? Show us what we've got at Union Square. Look at that.
There you go.
That's your pan. Lovely. And so what's in front of you now, Beth? What's that?
So this is the church. So there's also a student-run group. I think in first year I went to it a few times. I think they did it on a Sunday night, but obviously you'd have to check their socials to check when they meet and stuff like that. But yeah, it is available for use and stuff.
So that is the chapel there. And then spinning around to your right, we've got the SU, which we just saw, haven't we? And then do you want to head down to our little sort of concourse of shops that we've got, and we can have a look at that?
Yeah.
So there's the Forest of Light. So
I'm going to take my bike with me.
Yeah,
but
push it down
Forest
with you.
of Light.
Look at that. And there's 50 of those beams, and that's to celebrate 50 years of the university achieving its university status.
Oh yeah, not to ride these. Do you have to balance physically on it? Do you have to know how to balance? Or
No,
Let's get some
I'll
questions
show you. So
about
you like
the
kind of
e-scooters.
you're going to be
So
on
as I
scooter.
say, as we go through these tours,
So you kind of like start.
They are riding around campus on their e-scooters, which are provided by Swings, and they're great. Very new, so people are still kind of getting used to them. As you could hear, Beth's talking through someone on how to use it. But they're great because what you can do is you can go from campus into the local area. You can go from here right through to the local area on the e-scooter. So if you don't want to hire a bus, you don't want to catch the bus, or you don't have a car or anything like that, you can just jump on an e-scooter and go that way. All done on your tutorial, Beth. We're back. So this is kind of the concourse here now. These are the shops. So we saw the SU, so you've got a bar, plenty of food outlets in the SU as well. But just to the right, so what have we got here then? Beth, what shops have we got?
So we've got a Martin, so you can post your stuff here, turn packages, there's food and stuff in there. And then you've got Chapters Cafe, which there is a Costa in there. So you can get hot, cold drinks, food, bits like that. And then there's a study section. So there's a load of tables.
Nice.
This is the new co-op, so I think they're just refurbing it now. I assume it'll be ready in time for...
But I think the start of September, I think we have an opening date. But it should be ready before students arrive in September, the new co-op. And actually, you probably haven't been in, Beth, but if you go into Chapters, part of Chapters has now become the co-op.
So
really? It's quite different, yeah. So it should be that co-op should be really, really nice. There'll be a whole freezer section and everything in there where you can do.
Big then.
You could do a weekly shop, yeah. What else have we got on this strip, Beth? Here.
We got Well Pharmacy. So this you can get prescriptions and stuff sent here, and come and collect, which is a bit easier than trying to go into town or somewhere different. Then you got your cash points. We have a Tom. Yeah, this used to be a Santander, but it's not here anymore. I'm not sure what's replacing it.
I'm sure something exciting will replace it.
Here we have On the Square, which is really good food. It gets quite busy at lunchtime because it's that good. They do really good curly fries, and they do wraps and stuff like that. Well, there's a little thing on there saying what it does. It's burgers, wraps, noodles, salads, snacks, and drinks. Yeah, it's really yummy. Definitely recommend. And then the library is just up there.
So do you want to walk up to the library whilst we're here and we can have a look at the outside of that?
Yeah. Oh, I've just got to sort the scooter out. It's heavy. I'm taking it with me. I don't want someone to accidentally take it and then we'll get locked out.
Good. It's your method of transport around campus. So again, if you are interested in seeing anywhere on campus, we'll kind of show you the hot spots. But if there's anywhere in particular you want to see, drop it in the comments, and I can send one of our 2 e-scooter riders out there. So this is a library. You might spend a lot of time here if you come to Keele. How much time on average did you spend in there, Beth?
I didn't spend much time there in first year because I preferred spending time in my room doing my work. But I came here quite a lot in second year because I used to lift share with one of my flatmates. So if she wasn't done yet, I would sit here and do some work.
Nice. So that's the library. Yeah. Awesome. What we're going to do now is, Beth, why don't you travel to... let's have you go... Where do you want to go, Beth? Where do you want to show us? Do you know what? Why don't you go Keele Hall, Beth, as soon as you're near it?
I'll go Keele Hall because that's close.
Go Keele Hall. And what we'll do is we'll jump over to Mustafa, who's currently at the top end of campus. So you're at the main entrance, right, Mustafa?
I am. I'm just kind of part of the way up.
Yeah, that's where you would enter by car, and you'd come onto here, and there's, that building very well in front of you there.
I do.
Oh, hang on. I need to unmute you. There you go. You're unmuted now. I think we can hear you. Say hello, Mustafa.
Hello. Hi.
There we go. Got you. So you're at the main entrance of campus. You know that building very well because it's the medicine school, and that's where you spend a lot of your time.
Yep, for sure.
And this is kind of the new section of campus, isn't it, here? This is kind of where a lot of the new buildings are, isn't it?
Yeah, so right in front of us we have the business school. And to its left is the Harper and Keele Veterinary School as well. So these were built in the last year or two. So very, very new.
And the vet school isn't even finished.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's actually, they built it really fast, to be honest. Like a year, 6 months.
Yeah, and it will be finished in time for students who start in September. So probably, I imagine the exterior is done and they're just kind of finishing off the inside bits now.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. The last time I saw it, the hoarding was still up around the outside, but that looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look absolutely amazing. And the business school is also amazing. If we could go inside, I'd show you on the inside. There's some really, really nice social study space there. There's a Bloomberg financial laboratory as well. And then on our left is the Marriott, or the Courtyard by Marriott, which is where you can come and stay. It's the hotel on campus, recently built as well. I think, yeah, a year or two old.
It opened in January this year, yeah. So very,
January,
new.
yeah. So very bad time to open a hotel, January this year.
Well, it delayed its opening. It was supposed to be open earlier, but it opened in January, and it's doing great. And just have a look at that structure that you see just between the vet school and the hotel, Mustafa. So that is IC7. So that's the newest building on campus, and that is the Digital Innovation Centre. So that would be a specialist building focused around AI and all things digital as well. So that's flying up already. The structure's already in place.
That's a seventh innovation centre as well.
IC7, yeah.
Already 6 others.
Yeah, and just down that road between the business school and the vet school, if you go all the way down there and to the end, you reach the solar farm, so the energy farm that's on campus. So we've recently installed 12,500 solar panels, and in September, 2 wind turbines go in, and that will generate 50% of our electricity on campus, all from a couple of fields down there, which is awesome.
There's some really nice drone footage on the Keele Instagram if you want to see the solar farm. I wonder who took that.
It was me. Yeah, I did that. So yeah, and if you head back up, so you're what's on now, the Science and Innovation Park, aren't you, Mustafa?
Yes, absolutely.
And these are kind of hybrid buildings, some of them, aren't they? Where, so obviously the business school, you'll have, if you're a business student, you're likely to have classes in there. But also it's shared with external businesses, isn't it? And a lot of these buildings at the top end of campus actually house external businesses. And that's great because as a student, you can get involved with those, can't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go into the business school. If you go up to the first floor, it's all external businesses local to the area that you can get involved with. And the Keele apprenticeships and internship team work really well collaboratively with those businesses to get you some really great internships that pay you and are in the local area as well.
Nice. And while you're here, we might as well take a look at the other buildings. So you've got ahead of you there is IC4.
That's IC4, yeah.
Yep, and then you've got the sustainability, the home farm to the left there. And then as a medicine student, Mustafa, where will you be? Where do you spend a lot of your time as a medicine student? Obviously at the hospital, but also on campus.
Right there. Right at the entrance to the campus is the David Weatherall building, where we have 90% of our stuff in first and second year. But by third year, you're at the hospital all the time as a medical student.
Nice. Love it. Go on, take a walk past it. We'll stay with you while you walk past it, because then we can kind of see where we connect into Barnes, which we saw earlier.
Ah, yes. Yeah, if you want to be super lazy, make it super convenient. Yeah, Barnes is where you should go as a medical student.
That's it. Don't get run over, Mustafa.
Doing my best. Doing my best not to.
Looked both ways.
I did.
Highway code. Loving it.
Oh, and that's the massive banner that's announcing the solar farm. There's also some wind turbines that are due to go up. Am I right?
Yeah, so they're going in September. So they'll arrive and they'll pop up in the space of I think it's a week, and they'll be up because they arrive kind of pre-built, which is exciting. We can't wait to see them go up. But yeah, if you want to find out more about the energy farm, if you go on our social media, there's lots of, as Mustafa said, drone footage. We've done videos there as well. It's fascinating. Really, really cool. And Keele's big on sustainability, isn't it, Mustafa? We have a lot of kind of sustainability things.
Yeah. We were hearing from Tom earlier about how there's what was it? The accommodation on campus where you grow your own stuff. The bungalow.
The sustainability bungalow, yeah.
The sustainability bungalow. Yeah. Yes, I was thinking sustainability. Sustainability bungalow. There's also the home farm, which has a sustainability hub. We also have hydrogen into our electrics. Hydrogen into the gas, actually. See how well that works for us?
So straight ahead of you is Barnes there, and that then leads down. Now, Mustafa, someone has asked, where is the psychology building? So I think that's Dorothy Hodgkin, isn't it? So
the psychology building is Is Dorothy Hodge?
It is, yeah. So what I'm going to get you to
Dorothy
do is
Hodgkin.
you hop on your e-scooter, you head there. We're going to jump over to Beth, who is currently in arguably the best place on campus, which is Keele Hall. There you are, Freshers Gate. Look at that. There we go. Oh, are you muted, Beth? If you're muted.
Yes, here you go.
There we go.
So we are at this gate. If you can.
Freshers Gate. So,
See that?
what's the tradition? Did you do the tradition, Beth? Did you have your photo outside Freshers Gate?
I did, but not on my first day. It was my last day as a first year.
Still counts.
Still counts. I haven't had my final one yet. I'm going to do that next year, but.
Nice. And this is Keele Hall. So this is you. I'm sure if you applied to Keele, you must have seen us somewhere, because we love it. We can't get enough of it. It's the original, building. It was the only building on campus at one point, apart from obviously the clock house. But this was built in the 1600s, and then it became the university in 1949 when Keele was launched. And this was it. And it's just this beautiful kind of manor house, isn't it? And I think as Beth goes around the back of it. Did you go for walks around here, Beth, much?
Yeah, I did. I used it in first year, and then especially over like lockdown and stuff. It was nice to get out here because there's a big wood. So you actually
spent a bit of lockdown on campus then, did you?
Yeah, I was off campus in a house. So when the restrictions eased a bit and you could drive to places to go for walks, we used to drive here for a bit.
Look at this. Look at this view. Beautiful. So this is the Italian gardens with the fountain. And you can kind of just sit here. On a sunny day in term time, it's very busy normally, isn't it, Beth? With lots of people having picnics
loads of people come here for like picnics and stuff.
So you don't have any teaching in there, do you, though, Beth? You don't actually have any lessons in Keele Hall?
So you get when you have like the AU ball and like societies ball and stuff, they're usually in there.
Nice.
But no lectures, I don't think.
And then over to the nice view of the lakes. Look at this. Lovely. And then there's lots of space on the lawns there to just sit, have a picnic, play spike ball or frisbee with some friends, or grab a football and have a kick around. It's looking good. Blue skies. Look at those blue skies. There we go. But yeah, so Keele Hall, it's more of a conference and events venue. So they'll have end of year balls there. There's lectures that sometimes, the kind of guest lectures that sometimes take place there called ILIS, the Institute of Liberal Arts and Sciences. They bring in guest lecturers who have events in Keele Hall. And it's an event space. There's even weddings. People have their wedding there, and you'll sometimes see people getting married at Keele Hall as well. Go on, Beth, spin us around. Let's take a look at the back of Keele Hall. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, it's
and
really
pretty. And then
it's nice
you
to come
can
here.
point down to where the woods are, Beth. So you can go for a wooden walk, can't you, down there?
Down there.
And there's a
You
few
follow that
different routes.
path. There's loads of different paths you can take. Yeah, there's loads of them. You can get lost quite easy, but if you follow them, you'll get back here eventually. So.
And then Horwood is just to the right, isn't it, over the tree line, just behind there.
Literally behind there.
That's Horwood. That's where you lived.
Yeah.
You're so close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Super close.
I've had a question saying, do you offer scholarships? We do have some scholarships and bursaries. If you go on our website and just search for scholarships and bursaries, you can find more information on there around those, and how to apply for them and how to get those scholarships and bursaries as well. They're all on the website. And if you need any support with that, you can use unibuddykeele.ac.uk/chat, or get in touch with our student services team or our admissions team as well. It can help you with those types of questions. So there, I think that actually, if you want to take, I don't know where you've e-scooted to. I'm guessing the front of Keele Hall. Do you want to e-scoot around to the clock house, and you can show us the clock house as well, seeing as you're on that side of campus?
Yeah, I can do that.
And we'll just check in. We still got Mustafa is still arriving at the psychology building. So what we'll do is, again, I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff that you should do whilst we're waiting for Mustafa to arrive at his location. So again, if you need any help today, any support with applying to Keele through clearing, keele.ac.uk/clearing is the place to go. And from there, you'll find all the information that you need on this webpage in front of me. Here you can find out our vacancies, so you can have a look at the clearing vacancies, and you can also see what UCAS points you need for those courses and the codes and all that. So have a look through here. I think John said first thing first is have a look at our clearing vacancies and have a look at what we've got on offer at Keele. And they're all here on this page. And then you can also have a look at the entry requirements for each different area as well on that page. As well as that, we have the hotline, the clearing hotline, which is 01782 491 120. And if you're an international student, it's the same number. It's the same number if you're an international student. Phone lines are open until 8 p.m. tonight, so they're extended tonight because it is A-level results day, and we know that demand is normally higher. So if you can't get through straight away, give it a moment, take a break, and try again later on. You've got until 8 o'clock today. And then again, we've got some extended opening times throughout the week. So Wednesday, we're open from 8:30 till 6. Then Thursday, Friday, 8:30 till 5. And then from then on, our hotline is open from 9 until 5 each day. So if you are interested in joining through clearing, the next few days is the best chance to give us a call. And if you can't get through, again, just try again at a later time and you should be able to get through. Now, if you're interested in chatting to some of our students, you can do so at keele.ac.uk/chat, and you can head to Unibuddy there and chat to some of our students. But Mustafa is actually now outside the psychology building, so let's head over to Mustafa.
Hello.
There is Dorothy Hodgkin.
Yeah, Dorothy Hodgkin, which is located just a short walk from the center of campus there. So that's the Forest of Light, if you can make it out. And then Dorothy Hodgkin's where all the psychology goes on.
You're just passing some people on a tour there. Yeah, go on, head through there. Mustafa, we can let's have a look at the front of it, and we can also then have a look at the CSL whilst you're there.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Psychology building, they have some really cool stuff in there. There's an EEG machine which reads your brainwaves, and I was participating in a master's study where they put it on my head. And
so, Mustafa, in terms of courses, then, so will you find yourself in one building throughout your entire course, or can it vary?
For the vast majority of courses, it varies. So you'll have one designated building, but then you'll be placed in loads of different locations based on timetabling and how big your cohort will be. So you can be placed anywhere, but 99% of people will be placed in Chancellors, which has the most confusing internal layout ever. Absolutely confusing. Do you want to have a look inside, Tom, or do you want me to just walk across the CSL?
Let's head to the CSL. Let's see if we can get inside the CSL. See what we can see if we can get in, because it's a new building, isn't it? You spent some time in there. You love the computer lab in there, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. The computer lab on the second floor is the most beautiful. Has the most beautiful view across the entirety of campus. It's a really tall building, and because it's at the top of the hill, or at least the mini hill on Keele, you can see much further.
And then just pointing out some of the buildings that we've got as well. So you're going past the GGE building there, which is William Smith. That's just in front of you.
Yep, right there. And we just passed Walter Mobley, which is used for a lot of different things, to be honest. Not one single use at Walter Mobley. A lot of societies take it out.
And I might be wrong. I can't remember where the clearing hotline is this year. Normally it's in Walter Mobley, but it might have moved. They might be somewhere else. If you ring a hotline, you might get through to someone inside Walter Mobley. But there's somewhere on campus. So you've got Geography, Geology and the Environment is William Smith. Then you've got Huxley, which is the School of Life Sciences, which is on your left there. And that was recently extended, wasn't it? So you've got the extension on the back, which is the David Attenborough Laboratories, which are there on the back. And they're called the David Attenborough Laboratories because Sir David Attenborough himself came in 2019 and came to campus personally and opened those labs, and then gave a great talk in front of lots and lots of staff and students in the Chancellor's Lecture Theatre. And this is the CSL, so it's actually an extension of Leonard Jones, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. So Leonard Jones is on my left-hand side, the building on my left here. And that's usually used for chemistry. There's
So
lots
the
of
CSL is kind of a shared space, isn't it? There's quite a few courses that use the labs
Yes.
within CSL. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
forensic science use them.
Physics and chemistry use it as well.
Try that center door there.
The center door. Yeah, absolutely. No
I
problem.
normally go in there. We can't go in. We can't go in.
Oh, we're going in, Tom.
We're in.
We're going in.
Pop your scooter in there and let's see if we can
Let's
take
put
it
my
there.
scooter in, yeah.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
No
Gotta
worries.
go get my scooter, Tom.
Oh, where is it?
It's just parked outside. Let me go get it. I gotta run.
There it is.
Yeah. Let's hopefully it doesn't beep when I go inside.
It shouldn't.
Let's see. There we go.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's see where we can have a look around in here then. So we've got, this is the entrance to the CSL side, and this is kind of the central stairwell, isn't it?
Yep, central stairwell. And there's labs all across our right-hand side. If I go through that door on my left, you'll find Leonard Jones. So the original Leonard Jones.
Yeah, that goes back into Leonard Jones. So on your right is complete lab spaces, aren't they, from kind of wall to wall?
Yeah, wall to wall for all of the floors in the CSL.
Go on. I'm going to make you run up to the top. Yeah, I want to see the view. We need to see the view, Mustafa.
We do, yeah.
The top floor is a computer lab as well.
Yep. So if we just take a peek, some physics labs in there, chemistry as well. Should I go all the way to the top?
Yeah, I want to see this view. There might be a lot of chairs at the end, so we might not be able to get the view, but
yes.
We'll see. And if not, it was worth making you run up several flights of stairs.
Those stairs at 8:30 a.m. in the morning are the bane of my life.
Are you in here quite a lot, Beth, then in CSL?
Yeah, I have all my labs in there.
Nice.
So there's some piping
So
on the
that's
roof.
the other end. Is there loads of chairs at the other end?
No, they've removed them.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, we can probably see the view then.
Yeah. The computer lab.
So this is just one floor of computer labs then, is it?
Yeah. It also has all the software you need, so you don't have to download any software onto your laptop or anything.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, because you can do remote access via your own laptop to one of those, so you can use the software from your laptop.
Nice. And then this, arguably, this is one of the best views of campus, isn't it? Other than I once got the opportunity to stand on top of the new Barnes accommodation on the roof of there, and that was a good view. But otherwise, this is great.
Nice views. And if we go into the computer lab, you can see a bit more as well.
You have to try. We might not be able to.
I did think I saw some people
Oh.
inside.
So Beth, how old is the CSL? Because you will have started
Only a
before it was
couple of
finished, right?
years. I started when it wasn't open yet. I think it's only been 2 years, I think it's been open.
Yes, it's very new.
I want to say it's super new. It's really nice. They have loads of different like wet labs and dry labs and stuff. Yeah,
it's
it's
closed.
amazing. I love it.
It's closed.
Computer lab is closed.
Well, that was awesome. That is the CSL, so that's one of the newest buildings on campus, newest teaching spaces. It's ace, and as Beth says, it's great for all the new labs and all that sort of stuff in there. Mustafa, where do you want to head next? Where have we not seen? So we've done the top of campus, we've done Keele Hall, we've done Union Square, we've done this section.
Where would be
what
good?
else? What else do you want to show us?
I mean, Clock House, but I think Beth's quite
Beth's at Clock House. We're about to jump over to Clock House.
What about Sports Centre?
Oh, Sports Centre, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
sports
Mustafa, if you
fields.
want to head over to the Sports Centre.
Yeah, do you want me to
and
go to the fields or outside the sports centre?
We'll do the whole thing. So we'll just start at the fields and we can kind of work our way around.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we can finish on the Sports Centre. But for now, what we'll do is jump over to Beth, who is over at the Clock House Drive, to be specific. And again, another amazing. This is kind of the heritage part of campus as well, isn't it? So you can walk down Clock House Drive. I always think it's like Jurassic Parky, like I'm about to head into the Jurassic Park, whatever it's called, theme park there, with these rocks. I don't know, they're not prehistoric rocks, but Jurassic Park is set in 1991, so don't send me hate mail. It still does work. And yeah, so this will have been, so originally when Keele wasn't a university, this was like some stables. There will have been horses here. But now the right-hand side is the music school, and then the left-hand side is residential. So if you study music, you're likely to use the studios in there. So you've got kind of sound studios and all that inside there. And it's nice. You've got this nice courtyard that Beth's about to go through.
I'm going to leave the bike here.
Cool.
There we go.
And it's called Clock House because there is the clock. Nice Tiffany blue doors around Clock House. Stunning. And there's actually like a nice, I like this bit around the corner here that's kind of like a hidden seating area that's no one ever uses, but it's just always quiet. So if you ever want to come and just have a little space to yourself, no one ever seems to be here. It's a nice little place that you can go. And then actually, Beth, if you go do a circuit, so go down into your right, and we can kind of see the allotments then as well. So straight ahead Beth now is the original entrance to campus back in the 1600s. That's where the horse and cart will have come. And then if you go right, Beth, around to your curve round and head this way, you've got the allotment. Now, do you know much about the allotments, Beth?
No, I didn't realise we had access. I thought it was just like staff and stuff.
No, so I imagine Tom will have been involved as well. He was on from the SU earlier. But there's like a society who have a grow bed on there, I think. I think there are a couple of grow beds that are run, that are other people's, but there's definitely some student grow beds on there as well.
Lindsay Hall is that way as well.
Yes.
Around that path.
So if you go in through the white, go back round, Beth. Go in through the, if you go to your right now through there. And these are kind of the allotments bit up there.
There's greenhouses.
Yeah, greenhouses.
Oh, I never knew that.
And actually, I think if this is still the case, it was back when someone else mentioned it to me. But the students who are involved in it, whatever they grow, they then get to kind of keep. So if they grow some lettuce, they all then share and have the lettuce that they grew together.
That's cool.
Yes, it's a nice sustainable thing to get involved with. And then heading back round just to do a nice circuit. That's kind of the main entrance to the Lindsay Studios there, isn't it? In front of you.
Yeah, just around here. There you go. There's the entrance. This is all the music block.
And there's some studio space in there with recording studios and lots of fancy sound gear, which is nice. And yeah, this kind of links on to Keele Hall, doesn't it? So if you go straight over, we can see the back of Keele Hall again. So you just kind of you've done a loop.
Getting my steps in today, I'll tell you that.
When I was doing the campus tour, so if you start at the top of campus and you walk all the way around, it's about 20,000 steps.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. But actually, it's a good point because when we say Britain's biggest campus, you might think that you're kind of walking forever, but you do kind of, when you've got a lecture in one building and your accommodations in the other, you don't actually have to walk that far, do you?
No, nothing's really that far from anywhere, to be honest.
And here we are at the back of Keele Hall. Lovely. My favourite area of campus. It's so picturesque. Look at that. It's even better in person. It's nice. So much green space.
Yeah, I love that about Keele.
Awesome. So, Beth, anywhere else so we're going to do the sports centre now. Is there anywhere else you can think of? If not, we can kind of head back to the studio and wrap up. I don't
think so. I think we've got all the main bits.
Yeah. In which case, you're free to come back, head back, and I'll see you in just a moment. And what we'll do now is we'll head over to... I don't want to turn that off. We'll head over to Mustafa, who's currently outside the sports centre. Oh, you're at the running track behind. Nice.
Hello, yes, I'm starting off at the fields today. So we've got the running track, we've got the rugby fields, we've got the football, the AstroTurf football, which is all very, very professional, to be honest.
Yeah, so as the guys from the SU mentioned earlier, so you can get involved in sports and societies whilst you're at Keele. And these are kind of facilities that you use as, if you're part of a sports team. This is where you'll spend a bit of time. So what have we got? So you got the 3G pitch there, 4G pitch, is it in front of you?
I think 4G pitch, yes.
4G pitch. You've got a rugby court at the top.
The back. There's 2 of 3 rugby courts there actually are on campus.
You've got the running track.
Yeah, and over there to my left is just the back end of the sports hall. One of the 2 sports halls, which gets used for indoor cricket, basketball, and other indoor sports like that.
So do you want to, if you head this way, and we can see the courts here, and you can kind of loop around and have a look at the front of the sports centre after.
Just a random thing, by the way. What other university has tractors and massive piles of grit like that? I'm always just surprised.
I think Keele has the best grounds team. The grounds always look amazing.
They do, yeah. Like, I'm not lying, guys. We have not prepared much for this at all. Everything you're seeing is what we're seeing as it is.
I mean, to be honest, I imagine estates don't even know we're doing this. So this is just how it is every day.
Yeah, every day. You wake up, this is what you see. Crazy. On our left here, we have some tennis courts. And at the back end over there, there's the beach volleyball court, which I'm surprised. There's 3 beach volleyball courts, which I'm surprised the university even has, to be honest. A university has. And then over there, at the back end, there's some outdoor basketball courts as well. So 4 tennis courts, 3 beach volleyball courts, and 2 outdoor basketball courts, which is kind of crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. And over here on our left-hand side, we have another 3G, 4G pitch, which is multi-use, but mostly gets used by the football team. Over there. And
lovely.
Unfortunately obscuring our view is the hydrogen insertion area. So I mentioned this earlier. This is one of the few places in Europe that's inserting hydrogen into their gas lines, I think, to see how it affects energy use, to be honest.
It's called the High Deploy project. So yeah, they are testing different levels of hydrogen in the gas network because it's more sustainable. I think one of the signs will tell you it's the equivalent of taking a lot of cars off the road each year. And the trial's actually finished, but I think they're kind of extending it with further trials now. And then they'll present all of the findings to the government and other big, important people who can make lots of good change.
And today it's off. Usually it makes quite a lot of noise, to be honest, but today it's off.
I think the trial has finished, yeah. They finished the trial. I think they're just kind of looking at other ways they can do research using it before they completely dismantle it and get rid of it.
Yeah, so here is a massive field that gets used by quite a lot of societies. Lacrosse use it, American football use this field, rugby as well, cricket. So lots of different societies use this green space because it's very usable. Athletics as well. Oh, one thing we haven't mentioned actually is that cycling is a massive thing at Keele. Cycling is huge, and there's a cycling webpage. If you Google Keele cycling, there's a staff cycling group and a student cycling group, so you'll be able to find it on the Keele University website and the Keele Students' Union website. All the information about cycling there is.
Awesome.
And on our right-hand side here is the sports center. On the first floor there is the gym, which you can sign up to as a student. And unfortunately, just behind some of these windows here, which I don't have access to, is the talented athlete room, where if you're a talented athlete, you can get supported by Keele University, get access to a specialist room with brand new specialist equipment, and also get funding as well.
Amazing.
Just peeking through there as well, those trees just there, is where Beth started the day off, just outside Barnes. So we've actually come full circle.
Yeah, it feels like a lifetime. It feels like ages ago, that does. Yeah. That's where we started, at Barnes. So it's nice, isn't it? The massive field there as well.
Absolutely huge. If you try and run around this field once, you'll definitely feel it.
It's like what you've done, all those steps.
Yeah.
Thank God for the e-scooters. Most of that is great. Are you free to head back now? I don't know where you parked up.
Yeah, I'll see you. I've got my scooter with me right now. I'll see you back at the studio.
Nice. See you back in just a moment. Let's go to these two. Best back from Clockhouse. How's your walk? Is it still a nice day, or is it kind of?
No, it's really hot actually. It's really hot.
You have to talk.
I forgot. I completely forgot. I was
You were
just
doing
saying
so well.
Hot. No, it's really hot and really warm, but
nice.
It's really nice actually today.
Today was your first time using the scooters, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's actually been really fun.
I wish I'd filmed
I
that,
was
actually.
really scared.
So before we went live, we got most of us are using them all the time, but I thought it'd be a good idea for Beth just to have a go before we go
That's
live.
my practice.
And I think everyone does when they use them. They go, oh, as it first
Yeah,
starts.
it felt quite quick, but it was really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
they
gonna
are
use it.
great fun.
Yeah.
Good to have. So Beth, in terms of your campus, then, what's your favourite place on campus?
Probably academically, the CSL. I love the CSL. It's really, really good for labs, and it's really new, and the equipment that they have there is just really nice to use. But generally on campus, obviously Keele Hall. I feel like everybody's favourite place is Keele Hall.
Some people are different. So I've heard some people love Union Square for that kind of vibe that it gives.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just love Keele Hall, especially in summer, because you can sit there and have picnics. It was a lot of my housemates graduated this year, so we had our final farewell in the Keele Hall. And we had a little picnic, and it was really cute, but also sad because obviously I'm not living with them this year. But no, it was really nice. I love Keele Hall.
It's just so unique to have on campus, isn't it? This kind of
I
picturesque building.
Any other unis that have something like that?
It's beautiful. So what we're going to now, when Mustafa joins us, we're just going to wrap up with a quick Q&A. So if you do have any questions for either Mustafa or Beth in the next sort of 15 minutes or so, pop them in the comments and I can ask them. But just thinking about kind of journey to university then, Beth. So take yourself back to when you first started. So what year are you in now, remind us?
I'm going into my 4th year.
4th year. Is that your final year?
Yeah.
Final year. So back to 3 years ago then when you first started. What was your journey to applying to Keele then? Did you come through Clear or did you come straight from your A-level
No,
results?
I came straight through. I originally actually wanted to do medicine, but I think it was about 2 weeks before the deadline, I decided I didn't want to. And my backup, so I was going to apply for a medicine course as well as applying for like my backup just in case I didn't get the grades. So my backup was going to be Keele. I was going to do forensic science and medicinal chemistry. So I kind of just took that ahead as my first because I decided I didn't want to do medicine anymore. So yeah, I just stuck with the forensics, and because I would definitely recommend picking something that will eventually land you a job, but also something you're going to enjoy, because there's no point doing something for 3 years if you're going to hate every second of it.
So what research? How did you do your research then into applying? What was your process of finding the universities?
What, finding Keele?
And courses, and how did you kind of land on?
I found
courses?
Keele because they're really good for forensics. I think they're number one still in the country for forensics. So that's how I found them as my backup, and then I just carried on applying to it for my main. So that's how I found it. It wasn't anything special or anything. It was through the newspaper, I think, actually. You know, the newspaper, they used to print like a list of top universities and for different courses. So I used that and I looked at that, and Keele was top for that. And also it's really good for student satisfaction.
Nice.
So that was another factor.
And then you kind of approaching university, how was that kind of, what should people expect? So if they've got a place or they're applying through clearing and they're about to get their place, what are the next few weeks? What's in store?
The next few weeks. I mean, just chill out. I know you're probably already stressed and like worried about what's going to happen, but everybody is nervous. So like, really don't worry about it. Everybody is in the same boat when you come, especially to accommodation. It's really nerve-wracking because you're moving in with potentially 24 other people that you've never met before. Like, I'm quite introverted. I don't like speaking to a lot of new people. So to me, that was terrifying. But everybody is in the same boat. Like, everybody is scared. Everybody's worried about making friends. But it just comes naturally. Like, really just don't stress about it. Like, it will be fine.
Awesome. We just kind of went back to kind of your journey to university in terms of applying. Yours is actually not that unique because a lot of medicine students do it the way you do it, don't they?
Yeah, so about 40% of my course is graduate. So we have people like from my age all the way up to, I think, somebody who's 55 and has 3 kids. Yeah.
So because it's such a highly competitive course, isn't it? A lot of people tend to do a degree beforehand and then move on to it. So what did you? So you did?
So I did biomedical science at a university in London.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you can imagine the change, really, can't you? London, they call it the concrete jungle. And then all
that's
the way
where you're
up
from,
here.
is it?
I grew up in London.
Yeah.
I grew up in London, but it's a massive change. Absolutely, just incredible change going from all those concrete buildings. I mean, I grew up in a flat, right? I didn't even have a garden until I was like 18. I'm guessing a lot of the people online, maybe some will share my experience, or some might have completely opposite experiences. But coming to Keele, such vast open green spaces just gives me that sense of relaxation. And I think that's one major reason why we're so good at student satisfaction. Why everybody who comes here finds something, finds a little bit of peace, a little bit of calm.
There's that space, isn't there? To just
absolutely.
have your own space and feel like you're not kind of surrounded, like you say, surrounded in the concrete jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think people have a little bit more time. They're a bit more friendly, and I've definitely found that here. I don't feel like a number here. I feel like a real person, and not a cog inside a massive machine.
So, from your point of view then, Mustafa, so from now until, I imagine it will have been slightly different for you because you were kind of a pro and having done an undergraduate. Or actually, well, we could go back to when you were a true undergraduate, your first undergraduate. Yeah, what's now until, because it's not that long, is it really? You find out your results and then next month you're in university.
Absolutely. So I'm on UniBuddy. If you find me on UniBuddy, my bio is, I moved into halls 11 p.m. the day before university started. My first university. So I had literally no idea. Absolutely no idea, zilch. So I got my results, like many of you have today. And my results weren't what I expected. Right? I got AAB. I was 5 marks away from my A in maths. Oof. And the university that I had offers for medicine rejected me. And so maybe some of you share the experiences that I have had today. And just take a little bit of solace in the fact that, I'm here today. And many other people who were in the same boat as you are now here in the places that you want to be. We're just a little bit more of an arduous, tortuous journey. But that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. You get a little bit more experience, you become a little bit more mature, and then you go off and do what you want. So, yeah, I got my results, and my God, they weren't what I expected. The university in London was my insurance option, so I didn't necessarily go through clearing. I just went to my 5th option. And honestly, I got all the emails from the university, had no idea what I was expecting, and I just told my parents the day before university started to drop me off. I forgot my duvet.
You forgot a duvet?
I forgot a duvet.
Oh my
God. That's like the
the
major thing of what you need.
I forgot it. So I slept without a duvet the first night. And then because it was in London, I grew up in London, I just took the tube, picked up a duvet and went all the way back. Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, somebody here will relate at some point.
But the advice is to not do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't forget your duvet.
Don't forget. You need it. Don't forget your duvet or crockery. I've also forgot crockery at one point.
Cutlery is also amazing.
Did you even plan?
For my first university, absolutely not. No, they didn't give me accommodation. So I was living in private accommodation as well.
Oh, okay.
So I had really no idea what was going on. But Keele have completely...
You'll have the support here.
I made so many lists before moving in, everything that I needed to bring.
Literally 0 list. Keele give you so much support. It's such a big university that it does have the resources to be able to provide to every single student, to be honest. And that's what I've experienced.
Nice. And then, so you arrive, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you do first?
In terms of moving into halls at 11 p.m. or going to university for the first day?
Let's go for Keele now, back at Keele.
Oh, okay.
When you were slightly more planned.
When I was slightly more planned. So before coming to university, some group chats were made. So people who I was living with, we all met up on a group chat and we started talking about things, getting to know each other. So my first day when I moved in, I sort of knew who I was going to live with. And I told all of them not to mess around with my room or not to prank me at all. And thankfully, they didn't when I moved in. So I moved in and I knew who I was expecting, which was a really nice thing. It was a good safety net. And then from that, we just hung out, just started discussing life things, which was what we had been doing for like the last 6 weeks beforehand. So it was like moving in with people who I already knew by that point. And yeah, some of the people online who I met online also helped me move my stuff in, which was super nice as well. Especially since I moved in a little bit later. I moved in on the Sunday compared to the Saturday, which is when most people move in.
Yeah, most people come on Saturday.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to move in on Sunday. It just leaves people 24 hours to mess around with your room.
Yeah, which they won't.
Which they didn't, which was great. But everything went smoothly. Everything went great, and I was really excited to start a course that I was actually wanting to do. The course that I had intended to do for like the last 4 years prior.
Beth, what was it like for you?
So I moved in on Saturday. I think it's just because I was quite nervous. I just wanted to kind of get in and sort it out. One tip, I brought in a doorstop, so I kept my door open.
Honestly, listen to all her tips, okay? Listen to all
I'm
of them.
full of them.
She brought a duvet.
Yeah, she brought a duvet, crockery.
No, definitely bring a doorknob there. A doorknob? You don't need to bring a doorknob.
They'll be on the doors already.
Yeah,
Don't worry about that. You have to
bring a
start
doorstop.
an IKEA bedroom. That's not
Yeah, you don't have to bring everything, no. I would just definitely recommend bringing a doorstop. You can buy them for really cheap off like Amazon or supermarkets. And I just doorstop my door open. So it meant that when people were walking past, moving their stuff in, you could just say a quick hi, kind of introduce yourself. It makes it a little bit less awkward. And it meant that a couple of people that I actually live with now, or I did, they've just graduated, but they actually came like knocking around all the doors, but because mine was already open, they kind of just walked in. I know, it was really cute. No, I missed them. It was really fun. So they kind of just came in, you have a little chat. It's just, you want to try and make it as not as awkward as you think it's going to be, because it's really not awkward. I feel like it's just a really weird situation.
Everyone has moved away from home. There's no one who's been living there for 3 months before you or anything.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving at the same time.
Yeah. And then I think we all, because obviously it's uni, we all bought like pasta and like Domino pasta sauce. So we all cooked like a big batch, and all 12 of us stood in the kitchen.
That's quite impressive for us.
We introduced ourselves, played some games.
You pull out like a baking tray and
was really nice.
chicken nuggets on or something. Yeah, just throw that in.
That was really sweet.
Yeah. You had a lot. It sounds a lot more organised than most of us beginning.
It's a list. Make a list.
Yeah, make a list. There's actually lists on the university website.
There is, yeah. So if you're struggling with what to bring and you really don't know if you should be bringing a duvet or not, you can head to the accommodation pages, and there's a list of what to bring, but also more importantly, what not to bring, probably, because that will kind of probably mess you a bit more if you try and bring too much, because your parents will just end up taking it all back.
Absolutely. I think student finance comes in a couple of days before you move in as well.
Yeah, or like the day of. It's quite soon.
Yeah, quite soon, quite around that time. So just move in, and if you forget some stuff,
there's a Wilko, there's a Morrison's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just go into town and buy it. No stress.
Also YouTube. YouTube was my saviour. I watched loads of those like what I brought to uni videos. I feel like that's such a girl thing to watch, isn't it? But no, I would definitely recommend having a look, because then you can kind of see something you think you might need, you probably won't actually need. So it's like nice to see that experience from someone else.
Yeah.
And on that, someone has asked, are you planning to start up your day in the life of a medical student vlog again?
Oh my God.
You're famous from this, from one vlog. It wasn't even a series.
A single vlog. I don't know. University is getting more and more difficult, right? It's getting more and more stressful.
Well, where are you going now? You're going into the GP now, aren't you?
So I came from GP. So I came out of GP, and now I'm going back into the hospital for about a year. But my GP placement this year will be about a month again. So
it's hard as a medical student, isn't it? Because there's a lot you can't show.
There's a lot of placements as well.
Yeah. The first video was so ridiculously hard to organize, because there's so much patient confidentiality involved, and all the videos I've made since have just been absolutely a minefield, an absolute minefield. But maybe we can get something organized on.
Well, if you've got time, you can do your second in the series. Your fans are waiting.
Oh my God.
But I think we're coming to the end now, so we'll finish off with what is the one, for those who are coming, what is the one tip, your top tip for arriving at university, and the first thing you want to do? Actually, no, the top tip between now and arriving, what should you do?
I think just be open-minded about what's to come, to be honest. Just be open-minded, be relaxed, don't stress out too much. There's a lot of change going on in your life, and just allow that to happen. A lot of it you can't control yourself. So just relax and enjoy like the final few weeks of complete freedom that you have before
starting full time.
Before starting education full time. Because what you don't realize is university like takes over a little bit of your life. All your friends will be students at that point, and you'll have less time to interact with people back home.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Anything different?
Ooh, between now and when you start?
Yeah, top tip.
I mean, when you start, definitely join a society. So maybe have a look at the SU website and have a little peruse. That's a good word to use, isn't it? Peruse. Nice. Have a little look at what sort of societies you want to join, because there are a lot of them, and it's nice to have a bit of an idea of what new ones you could join, or if there's something that you've been doing, like I did tennis since I was like 4, so something like that you want to carry on doing. So definitely, I would do that. Definitely join at least one.
And get excited. You're coming to university.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So amazing. Thank you both for staying with me for the whole day.
Thank you, Tom.
It's been a pleasure. It's been fun.
It's been really fun, actually.
Yeah, we love the e-scooters. They've been great. And again, thanks again for Swings for providing those e-scooters with us. So that was it. Again, if you're watching and you are interested in a place at Keele, you can head to keele.ac.uk/clearing or call our clearing hotline on 01782 491 120. That is the clearing hotline, and that is open tonight until 8 p.m. and then reopens tomorrow morning at 8:30 as well. Make use of Unibuddy, keele.ac.uk/chat, which you're both on, aren't you? You're both on Unibuddy.
Yeah, both on those.
Earlier you mentioned don't message at 3 a.m. I actually replied to messages at 3 a.m.
See?
Why? I guess placement.
Probably not a member of staff.
Yeah, no, you don't expect from a member of staff.
I
But if
don't.
you're an international student and you're in a different country, which happens to a lot of times, to be honest.
Yeah, we do get a lot of messages.
But it's just a chat service, isn't it? You can message whatever
Yeah.
time of the day you want, and then someone will respond as soon as they can. So both Beth and Mustafa are on Unibody, so keele.ac.uk/chat. And just as well, if you are interested in coming to campus and having a look around before you start, or you're here and you're looking at 2022 entry and you want to have a look around, there are outdoor campus tours taking place. And I think we saw of them. You've passed a few of them happening. So go onto the website, keele.ac.uk. I think /open days will get you there. /open days. And you should be able to find the campus tours on that page there. And you can also sign up for the open day if you are interested, which is happening this Saturday on the 14th of August. So whatever it is for 2022 entry, but if you're looking at coming to Keele in September and you just want to come along to that virtual open day, feel free. Go to keele.ac.uk /open days and you can register there. It's important that you register because then you get access to not just the streams, but also everything else behind the scenes as well. That's it. It has been an absolute pleasure. We're going to go and have some fun on these scooters before we have to sadly hand them over back to the wings. But thank you for watching. Hope you found it useful, and hope to see you on campus soon. Bye.
Bye.